Hello, welcome to another episode of RP Gallery. I am your forever DM, James, and today, as always, I am here with
Hannah, Ash, Jade,
and Jared.
And we are continuing our adventure in Battletech, A Time of War. So, where we last left off, you guys escaped the police station. When you reached the police station, you had left George on Nadia. You made it in, disabled the anti-air systems, you shut down everything, opened the doors, you made it out with your mechs. Along the way, Rookie is still alive but wounded. You encountered a civilian contractor working on mechs who had been shot in the head named Brooks, but she survived it. It was like a graze. You encountered Rookie, who hit you with a chair and was shot and severely wounded, but was stabilized. And you met Linda, the lumberjack woman, in the kitchen. And you made it out with your mechs, with the controller for Nadia, so she can now fly herself. And you made it out with the database of information from the old Star League. You found out that Nadia is actually a land-air mech that was never completed. Fully self-aware and highly illegal.
Really cool though.
Yes. So as you escaped, they launched a nuclear missile from orbit. You made it away as that base was hit and is gone. You flew past a couple squadrons of their starfighters, flew right into a jump ring and activated it as you docked and made a blind jump. And that is where we are going to start today. Any questions? Any input? Any comments?
Fear? Well, do you want to tell us what happened when we made that jump?
So you're about to find out. So, as you are jumping through subspace, as you are about to exit, already coming out of subspace, alarms start going off. Proximity warnings. You are entering an unknown debris field, and your pilot is going to have to make a series of piloting.
Woo! Alright.
These will not be easy.
Is there anything we can do, beyond the blasters to shoot the debris or things like that?
You can attempt to shoot debris. You can, you can man the port windows and start shooting at stuff.
I'll do that.
But there is too much debris for a targeting computer to assist you with this. 16? That you will succeed with the first roll. Do you guys want to attempt to shoot debris to lower the threshold?
Yeah, I do. I'm a good pilot, but it's a lot of debris.
I'm going to be honest. A 16 is the target number, and if you don't hit it, you will collide with debris. For every successful hit that you have on the debris, which is difficult to hit, I will reduce that roll that she has to make by 2.
Okay, so we're doing armed.
In order for you to shoot this debris, I'm going to need a 12.
Is it gunnery?
Gunnery.
You got this.
Oh yeah, I got this.
I'm just letting you know how bad this is. This is a full debris field. She has 10 rolls to make total. She made the first one. You guys can assist with the next 9.
If it's not hard, James is the beginning.
6, 9,
You'll reduce by 2.
19.
You're good.
I thought you got this.
So for you, you don't roll snake eyes.
Even if I rolled snake eyes?
No, snake eyes is a critical miss.
Oh, you said 16, right?
No. For you, the target number is 12, but if you roll snake eyes, that's an auto miss.
Ah, got it.
So don't roll snake eyes. What you
I
got?
rolled a 6.
All right, so it will reduce by 2. We need a 14 from you.
You got this.
17.
All right. Next round, that is 2. I'm just gonna make a little tally on this little piece of
Oh, I
paper.
rolled double 6s.
Hey!
That should count for a little more. That was a crit. It's gonna be.
You got that rock and the rock.
I'll let it
behind
reduce what she has to make by an extra point.
Oh, 11.
11. Okay, so currently she has to make a 13.
10.
All right, so you gotta make a 13.
16.
All right, you got it. Next roll. Let's light them up.
7.
I'll pass.
9.
Did you get snake eyes?
No.
All right, so you need to make a 14.
17.
All right,
Nice. Yeah,
next
right?
round.
I'm a good pilot.
You are. I'm a good tuner.
7.
Oh, man.
10.
All right, don't roll snake eyes.
2 5s.
All right,
Use the
18.
okay, next round. You have 5 more rolls to make to get out of this debris field.
Okay.
She's over here like rolling. That's why you're having to hit a 12 to shoot something.
9.
Okay?
10.
Nope. But you did, so the number's 14.
16.
All right. 4 more.
Red. 9 again.
It's really hard to shoot with the way she's constantly rolling the ship. All right, 14 it is.
Oh, max.
All right.
22.
3 more.
Barrel roll. High kick, high kick.
At that, I'm gonna need Constitution from everybody.
This,
I'll give you.
That's fair.
You can roll 3 dice instead of 2 because your 0G is so high.
Is that body?
This is gonna be body, yeah.
Funny.
Watch out for my body rolls. 8. Okay. I'll say you're real squeamish, but you managed to hold it in.
10.
You're good. What you got?
I got 8, but if this is like a 0G thing, I also get
Yeah.
I have natural aptitude.
He's just sitting here like, oh wow, ooh, that's a good one. Oh yeah, no, that's a good one. Oh, it's hard to shoot when you're rolling like this. Meanwhile, like, hold on, hold on. And she's like, this is fun.
This is fun. Accurate.
All right, what'd you roll for your gunnery?
Oh.
12.
You'll know it if I roll.
You made it.
something.
All right, so the number to beat this time is only 12.
16.
Okay, 2 more.
What do you have to do? Roll snake eyes with me?
I'm not going to think about it because I will not manifest it.
11.
10.
You like nicked a piece. You're still shooting a little wide, but like you're hitting like little things and not anything big enough to really matter. So 14 it is.
You scratched my car.
16.
All right, 1 more.
Snake
Almost
eyes.
through.
No snake eyes.
9.
9.
15.
On the very last roll, she clips a derelict ship that's in pieces. I need you to roll me 2d6 so I can tell you where on the ship it collided.
You had one job. I got all my rolls. I got all my rolls each time without fail. What's your level on your piloting?
I rolled a 5. My modifier for piloting is 10.
My gunnery is 10.
All right. So I want you to roll the damage from this thing. It will be 3d6.
How much health does that thing have?
once. Oh no, it was all 5s.
Oh my
Ouch. Not my ship.
Just a jagged piece of wreckage goes right across the belly of your ship and tears open the armor. You start losing oxygen, and all the blast doors shut, sealing everyone in separate parts of the ship.
Okay, we're gonna cruise our way out of this. We're just gonna start busting through walls. Okay?
No! There's
We are not destroying my
that
ship.
it does that.
I get angry now.
So, all of the air in your mech bay is sucked out. And I need somebody to roll me 2d6.
Yep.
4.
Sure. Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Over the comms, you get a message from Brooks. She says that a large piece of debris ripped open the shielding and hull below the mech bay. The atmosphere is gone, and she hopped into your mech to save herself.
Okay.
She does not have any way to get out of this mech. She currently has about 4.5 hours of oxygen. Meaning, you're gonna have to get her out of there within 4.5 hours, or she's gonna die.
We just let her go.
What is wrong with
Jay,
you?
okay, I'm sorry. It's not Linda. Let's go save her.
The woman saved your life.
Let's go save her. We're in open
So,
space.
what are
do
our
you-
options?
Yeah, what are our options?
Well, right now, all of your airlocks are sealed. You do not have suits
I
in
have
the
one.
cockpit.
Oh, not in the
He
cockpit.
has a zero-G suit on, but you are in different areas of the ship. You are in the right wing, you are in the cockpit, you are in the left wing, and you are in the overhead gunnery compartment. All of you are separated from one another. How do you get out of this?
I'll hold my breath.
Also, I would like to spot hidden, correct? Is that what it's called?
I thought that was Hulu.
Yeah, that might be Cthulhu. This is your
Usually
not investigation, it's a
Yeah,
perception roll.
perception.
I need a perception roll from everyone who can see out a window.
5.
9.
I'm not looking out the window, I'm looking at the screens.
9.
12.
5.
With a 12, you see markings on the hull of the ship that you collided with the debris field from. It's a Draconis Combine ship with the same sub-insignias as the commander that you just escaped. This used to be one of his ships.
So the Russians maybe got there?
This is a major debris field. As you're looking out the window, at least one heavy cruiser was destroyed in orbit and left here.
So
Alright, so can you point that out? Now
Yeah.
we can speculate about whether that's a good place to...
Yeah,
you even
given-
see occasional body parts floating in the debris field.
Red snakes.
Let's open down in space. Okay.
I'm just relaying everything I'm seeing. Like, guys, don't look out the window if you're squeamish. Because I am.
Ooh, I wanna see, I wanna see.
Is that what you say to them? All right, you can roll investigation at this point if you'd like. You see that there's a thing outside. Now you can actually
9.
take a closer look. This is definitely a Draconis Combine ship.
8.
It's definitely a cruiser. But I am going to let you roll a third die because of your specific history.
12.
It replaces your lowest roll.
Oh. 5, 6. It was investigation. Yeah, 8.
8. Okay. So, I can't get to you with an 8. But it's just something doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem like a normal cruiser.
Can I make an investigation roll?
Sure. This ship was torn apart by Gauss rifle fire
Not bad.
and then set on fire. It was not hit by missiles. The damage to the ship is very clearly from a Gauss weapon, which is essentially it's a metal rod fired by magnets that pierces right through something.
Okay.
The shots that hit it were very clearly targeting parts of the ship that wouldn't make it explode. It was ripped to pieces by Gauss rifle rounds.
Do we see
like a Mac gun.
any result of any weapons used destroyed or shot at?
Every single piece of this looks like it has been scorched by flamethrowers.
Seeing if we could identify the weapons, see who did it.
You are unaware of any spacecraft with flamers. You're not sure how this debris field was set on fire.
This seems like a weird tactic. Can you imagine what the purpose for doing that would be?
I got it.
No,
I got it. There.
flamethrowers don't really work in space. You have to have an accelerant with liquid oxygen applied to it to be able to set things on fire in space. So this was 100% intentionally burned.
Is there a chance that they're still filming us, watching us now somehow, and this is going to go like on screen as part of their, they destroy everything, a little clip of us.
So a little more
going
about
by
their environment.
Like,
This debris field is above a moon with no atmosphere. This moon is in orbit around a gas giant. The moon below, you can actually make out a structure on the surface.
Ah! Atmosphere within the structure.
they're probably filming us and using this as part of their propaganda.
Anyway, I was
Saying
asking
that
you
we
because you're
destroyed
the
it
one
so
who do
brutally.
those like protocols,
Well,
strategies.
here's the problem.
Or I
we
was in the
jumped random.
military. Is that something I can try to sort out if I understand that?
You could.
We did.
Could I do?
I have protocol.
Yeah, can I do
Say, guys.
like the strategy?
Sure. If you want to roll protocol, you want to roll strategy,
Why not?
You'll learn
Would
different
they
things.
do this?
Would take
you're like, you know what? All I care about is flying.
would
And
take
that's breathing.
would technician wouldn't help it, would it?
No.
Cybernetic.
So that's how much do I get for natural aptitude?
Should be you add your intelligence to it.
I have protocol free worlds.
This wouldn't help you. In fact, I don't think that any of this would make sense to you. 10. You're not really sure why someone would torch this, but you know that, like, when people are as thorough to burn something as this, it's like, why on earth
Like we
would
had
they want to
evidence.
do that? It's not like they went and tried to burn the logos off the ships. What you see is the remnants of crew quarters, remnants of the med bay, and as you're looking at this ship, you realize this was a medical cruiser.
Maybe they were double crossed.
Oh.
I think that's part of the framing.
I have 12, and that's before
Look at
natural
these
aptitude
awful
training.
terrorists.
So
You know
Oh, we did
that the only reason to deploy zero-G forces with equipment that could burn things in a vacuum is infectious disease.
Oh, so you want to go there?
yeah, I'll
With that,
relay that.
your roll is high enough for strategy. It looks like this medical cruiser was intentionally destroyed, burned, and abandoned to contain some sort of disease.
Love that.
Yep.
This is wonderful.
So whatever was on that ship, it was put to flame and sent out here to contain it.
It probably came from that moon.
It probably did. We should
It's
probably
a possibility.
go down there and
It
check
is a
out.
Draconis Combine ship.
With fear. Well, Does it look like a Draconis Combine base down
So-
there? What's the base look like?
I'll add a little bit more. Right. No, I can't give you any more yet. You have to figure some stuff out. So here's where you are. You are trapped in your own ship. Someone is going to have to seal up the hull enough to replenish the air stocks, or your ship will not release the blast doors.
Hey, we have someone who's good
I
at
would
that.
say, yeah. It's gonna have to be a me thing.
In order for you to do that, you are going to have to lock the room you're in, cut out the window that you're looking through, climb out the ship, and traverse the outside of the hull to repair it.
So no
Hang on
more.
tight, Spider
Which turret
Monkey.
did you have? A left one or a right one?
Left.
So doing that, you will no longer have a left turret.
Unless you're wearing a suit while
I have one of
I
those.
assume that that's gonna be it.
I assume he doesn't leave his mechanic gear
Yeah,
behind.
I
Oh, yeah.
have.
Oh, yeah.
I have like a whole 0G like E-frame. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna
All right.
work on that.
Just give me a mechanic roll to disassemble your gun port and open it to the outside. And as you're doing that, Nadia says, I hope this isn't too much of a problem, but I believe we have a problem.
Go ahead.
I'm detecting damage to the jump ring.
The what?
The jump ring.
So we can't go back anywhere else? Ah,
You don't have a means currently to leave this solar system.
okay.
That was a 14.
Okay, so you get that thing out easily. You can get to work on the outside. You make your way around the hull and you see it wasn't just a piece of debris, it was another ship that was inside that ship, and it tore through the jump ring and the bottom of your own ship. It was nearly unavoidable. But you notice markings on the ship, and it's partially lodged into her ship now. These are the same markings as the farming farming co-op on the moon, where the Draconis Combine killed everyone.
Like that.
Was it deliberate?
You do have a whole crew
We
of
just
people
killed
you
a
can
bunch
talk
of
to.
civilians.
So
Crew, I also have a bunch of contacts I could reach out to see if they know anything.
I'm gonna kind of relay that to you through the comms piece, and start getting to work to.
Is there?
Taking
Well, there
care of
wouldn't
it.
be anyone.
Can I reach out to my contacts first and then start asking my crew?
Who are you going to contact?
What are we closest to? Like
You
what
made a
major-
blind jump, so you don't know.
Would any of us be able to recognize where we are?
Nadia might.
Nadia's
Oh.
got maps.
Remember, Nadia's got all the star charts.
I might know some current info to her star maps.
Can I ask Nadia if she knows where we are?
She says this system does not appear on any charts.
You're so helpful, Nadia.
She says, in fact, it's so glaringly obvious that someone has removed it. And she says, however, I do detect a beacon on the moon below. It's one of mine.
Oh, well,
So
I
we
think
wanna-
we're gonna go and get
She
one.
says that there is a Starleague base below.
You're kidding.
The beacon is sending out what she refers to as Black Flag Protocol. She says, essentially, it's a signal that says biologic life forms should not come here.
Ah, man.
Is this something you really need?
She says, well, we don't have the parts to leave, but we may be able to find them.
camera is turned over the option. Alright, let's do it. Let's
Well,
go.
can we see if our mechanic can fix things first? Or is it out of your...
It's not.
Well, it's kind of a problem of I could probably fix it, but I only have so much at my disposal for parts. And I could probably jury rig a little something and get us sealed up enough that we can open the ship back up outside of.
As you're
And
examining
think
it,
about the Starlink tech that's probably in
you're
there.
looking at the outside of the hull, and it is torn so severely that you're going to need 2 other people at a minimum to assist you in repairing the hull. Now, fortunately, Brooks and Rookie are both good at that sort of thing. But currently,
Trapped.
Brooks is trapped without a suit in the mech bay.
Do we have
she
more
have a
suits or
suit?
no?
Huh?
Probably not. If she didn't have one when she got on the ship with us. I've only got the one. They're fairly
Hey,
expensive.
Nadia, where are our suits?
She says, "Your suits? What suits?"
Space suits? Most ships come with them.
She says, "One moment," and like you see like all of the sensors in your ship turn on like all over the place. And she says, "It appears that the Draconis Combine stripped your ship for everything."
Oh, of course I would.
She says, "I have 2 emergency suits in my med bay."
That's all we need.
But
Yeah.
So who's going
I
over
guess
to
you're
that
going-
bay?
But she's in the mech
the only
bay.
one in a suit?
No, yeah, she's in the mech bay. Fortunately, that's the part that's gashed open. He could get to it.
Okay. I'm gonna relay what Nadia just said to me to you.
So you have to get to the med bay and get the 2 extra
She also says, "I am detecting a medical bay on the adjacent ship. There may be additional suits there."
So it's lodged into our ship. Can we get onto that ship?
Piece of it is lodged in your ship.
Is it the med bay?
It's
piece?
the wing.
It's the wing.
Ah.
The other problem is we now know that whatever. There is a reason that ship is burnt out. And presumably, we don't want to deal with that. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get to the med bay and get.
If it was disease
suits.
infected, we don't really want to touch it.
And that's exactly what it is.
How
Do we
does
need-
disease work in space?
It would depend on it, on the disease. If you would like to roll biology, I can tell you.
Do you have biology? This is my
Do any
understanding.
of you have
I don't
biology?
think biology is
It's
a
not
skill
a
on
thing.
here.
There's Medtech.
Hold on.
Med tech.
It is interest biology.
Science. Oh, interest.
Or
biology.
science. I would give you science.
I have med tech.
I have survival.
So you know how to operate a medical bay. That doesn't mean you understand biology.
If I know how to run basic stuff, I should be able to at least roll for it.
So it sounds like our character is as clueless as.
What about interest
the player.
nature?
Yeah.
I could do interest nature, or I could do science, or I could do interest biology.
Well,
I would even do med tech, but you're not going to learn as much. That's more about how to operate the technology and less about medicine
Well, I
itself.
can roll anyways. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
swing this.
You're doing med tech?
Um. 16.
Specifically, what are you looking for?
You want to know about the contagion and disease.
About how disease spreads in space?
Yeah.
The
What
16,
is it?
I would say that you know that certain microorganisms can remain dormant in a vacuum.
Okay. I'll let you know that. Oh, that's as much as I know.
That's the same thing. Certain microorganisms
You remember in
can
class when they
remain
taught us about
dormant.
anaerobic bacteria? Yeah, that kind of thing. Botulism.
I don't snake eyes. I don't know nothing.
You don't know nothing.
I say our guy with the suit gets the other suits from
Nadia.
Nadia. Yes.
So you're gonna go get the suits out of Nadia.
Yep.
All right. Remember, George was still in the med bay on Nadia because of his injuries. Both Rookie and Preacher need treatment in that med bay.
Yep.
So getting the suits, does that mean opening the med bay and releasing their air? I have
No,
idea
Nadia
what
has an
this is.
airlock. You can get in and out.
Okay.
Do we know where Rookie and Preacher are?
They would be in the crew quarters of your ship.
Okay.
Like they strapped in for the jump. Right. Brooks was in the mechanic bay, and she jumped into a mech when we all collided.
Good for her.
Actually, she probably jumped in before that because you were driving like a maniac.
You're welcome.
And
I saved your life. with those
so
bad
you're
rolls.
gonna go in and get some suits out of Nadia.
Yep.
You go inside Nadia, and George is actually there. He's up and moving around, but he looks kind of pale, and he has a little bit of a rash on the nape of his neck in a
Kill him.
circle about
Kill him.
that big.
No, don't do
Dad,
that.
kill him.
It looks
He's
kind of
diseased.
strange, well, almost like a cryo burn, but it's in the wrong
Diseased.
places for a cryo burn. And he's like, "Hey, man, oh, that was wild. Everything all right?"
Throw him off the ship. Who is it again?
George.
George.
Isn't he the cook?
I believe he's the cook.
Yes.
He's not necessary anymore.
We hit something and
He needs to be quarantined.
we're going to have to do some repairs.
He shouldn't touch anything. He needs to be quarantined in some
You can't
room
see
or
him.
something.
You can't see him?
And
You haven't seen the
Yeah,
rash?
make that call.
Look, so right now George is in his underwear in the med pod. Well, he was in the med pod. He's up now. And his injuries are healing well from, getting shot up by you.
Yeah.
But you're noticing this weird rash on the back of his neck, and then he looks kind of pale, a little sickly.
Yeah, I would diagnose him real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
Ask him how long he's got these symptoms.
COVID-19.
It just seems like it's something that would make sense.
yeah, well, here's the problem with that. My character doesn't have those skills. I don't have any sort of medical, med tech.
But you can notice if
Ask
something's
how long have you
wrong.
had that rash?
I can, but the problem is extrapolating that information into something that we can use.
Oh, you
I don't
just
have
have to
those
relay
skills.
And you
Someone's gotta
shared
know
the
something.
information about the other
Oh.
ship being diseased, right?
So,
So you would know that there's something going around and it's not a
You're
common
in a
cold.
different star system.
here's the big problem with that. We know that's the case. He's been sealed up in Nadia. Nadia hasn't been pierced by this ship that is full of disease, right? So this is different. But
You're okay?
I see it.
the one thing I will say is if we know that this ship that is embedded in our ship currently is from the colony that they come from, that's relevant. So,
Are you going to ask?
yeah,
George
I
for
am.
info?
So, you look a little pale, man. You all right?
He's like, oh, there was just a bug going around. Some people back home were just you feel sick for a couple days, and you get
He
this
came from that same.
weird rash on your nape of your neck. And it's okay. They were taking people over to the hospital over on the moon, the police station that we were guarding.
In a medical cruiser? Like that one?
Don't tell him, don't tell him, don't tell him.
There was no hospital on that. There was a morgue.
A big morgue.
With small
Filled with
children.
stacks of bodies.
Yes,
That we
Men, women, and children.
that you
You couldn't.
interacted with.
You opened one.
I did open one.
Disease.
Um,
Now you stopped at the one.
so here's
Here, girl. Quarantine.
is Nadia able to take a look at that?
Nadia says that she does not have medical protocols. However, it appears that the base on the moon below is a science research lab, and they may have something there that would give her that ability if you were to retrieve it.
We're going down. That's what it sounds
Everything
like.
is pointing us down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to retrieve these suits, get them to who needs to get them, and get this sealed up so that we can move that away.
So retrieving suits from the derelict ship is a 2-person job. You have a total of 3 suits, one is being used.
Yes.
Who do you want to accompany Jared? Can it be one of you or it can be a member of the crew?
Well, I know we wanted Brooks there
All right.
because Brooks was the
You
other
want me to go?
mechanic.
So, is
So
it-
you're gonna
is
grab
anyone,
a suit
any
for Brooks.
enemies on the roof?
And then we had
I'll be your backup.
Well, I think right now, here's the thing. If anything were to roll up on us, we would rather have ship level weapons than personal level weapons.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hold that
So-
thought right there. All right, so basically what you're gonna have is you're gonna have you and Brooks and one other person go over to the derelict ship to try to find suits.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Who are you taking?
as I
have
was
a really good investigation skill.
well, right now
You really need zero
we
G
need
operation.
we need to seal the ship before we move down to the base. So I want to take Brooks with me, and then you were saying that you could come with as protection, but I would rather have you in one of the turrets because if something were to roll up on us, we would rather have ship-sized weapons than personal-sized weapons because whatever's going to roll up on us is going to be much bigger than us.
much bigger.
So I'd rather you stay on the ship with our guns.
You look like you're
So
well. You're
Nadia
sniffling
actually
the blanket.
comes across the comms and she
It's
says,
because of but sneeze.
due to the damage that our primary craft has received, I would recommend powering down to avoid detection.
We can't really land.
that.
We can't
I like
really
that.
land anywhere though because of the weight.
Well, that's
We're not trying to land
we're not
yet.
trying to do that yet. That's we're taking the steps.
Yeah.
So so you said who else was it that was good at working on mechanical objects? It was Brooks and somebody else, right?
Rookie.
Rookie
Who is injured.
who is injured, but as if he is stable enough that we can.
He can still operate a wrench with his other hand.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is that as long as he is stable enough to help me out without injuring himself further,
What was the skill again?
mechanic. Well, it'll be one
Zero
of
G operations and mechanics are necessary.
yeah.
I
So
don't see mechanics.
for me, it's a career thing.
Okay.
But I'm sure that there are other things for it as well.
Okay, 'cause I
Or
got zero
computers.
G
You can use
Computers and stuff
computers.
like that.
I have 1 point in computer, so I'm.
So I think
I have 5 points in computers, but 1 point in zero G.
yeah, I
So
think
it is a fully zero G operation, and the risk of drifting off into space and dying is real.
yes. I think our best case scenario is to take those two because, like I said, rookie. I only really need to do small things. Hey, hold this light, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
While,
it still.
while I can have me and Brooks do the main bulk of the repairs.
So essentially, you guys will tether yourselves to each other and then just leap across
Oh, you guys
and
are
float.
holding out.
Right. So you go and you get the suits. Brooks hops out of the neck, like clearly holding her breath. First thing she does is grabs that helmet, puts it on, seals it on her neck, and then starts putting on the rest of the suit.
Also, this just came to mind. We've all interacted with George.
All
right,
he
go.
built his spice cabinet. He's been cooking with the spices.
Well, it's not even that. To get him on the ship, we all had to interact with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there is that risk.
Yep.
Just
I gotta
clear
throw
warning.
myself off the ship.
So yeah, we're gonna tether everybody who needs to be tethered together,
Okay.
and then go back out. And
Rookie seems to be the most athletic of the three of you. If you want him to do the rolls, you're welcome to roll for it. His legs work just fine. The hit was to the shoulder.
Okay.
another thing to note is I do have a diagnostic system to increase my rolls for that kind of thing.
Awesome.
For repairing things.
Okay.
So generous.
So I want you to make 3 rolls to leap across the debris field over to the derelict cruiser.
Yeah. What's the
You are looking for 10s.
Well, that's 10 straight up.
Okay, first one's fine.
You said 3 of them?
Yep.
4, that's 7. What am I adding?
Rookie adds 6.
6, okay, so then that's 13. Third one is 6 is 12.
All right, so Rookie successfully leads the 3 of you to the derelict ship.
Cool.
In fact, all 3 of you have high enough zero-G operations that unless you rolled snake eyes, you won't fail. And since you're all tethered together, I'm just going to go ahead and give you that what you do is successful as far as zero. If that works, it'll save us some time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get over there. First thing that we're gonna have to do is
I want you to roll streetwise.
Streetwise? Oh, there it
As
is.
you watch Brooks
A lot of streetwise.
interact with the computer system on this ship.
I have level 10 streetwise.
That is 6. I don't get any bonuses.
I'm going to let you add mechanics or computers, your choice.
My mechanics, I believe, is the higher of the 2. Yes, it is. So 6, that's 11.
11. She has brought a portable power supply, and she opens up this computer. And it's kind of an out-of-the-way one, like a lesser computer system. And patches into the power, and it immediately fires up, and she starts pressing buttons. And a locker opens right next to you. Brooks is far more than she seems. She very clearly knew access codes to open this computer and exactly
She's
which
also
computer
illegal.
to open.
Oh my god.
And I'm gonna have you roll protocol for which faction are you again?
Federated Sons.
Yeah, roll
wait, do I
protocol
like
Federated
look at
Sons.
Weren't you just
Let's see
ready
if
to
you
throw
get
her
this
away?
high enough.
I was ready to throw George
that
away.
is 8.
Not gonna be
George
high
and
enough
that
to fully understand, but you do recognize Brooks clearly has much more knowledge than a simple mechanic should have.
Something to keep in mind.
Black
You,
man.
Try some leave us.
you do know. Let's see, military history. Go ahead and roll military history for me. Do you have
Can't leave
interest in
us now.
military history?
I
needs us.
do
No one else would really want it.
somewhere. Military interest. That is a 9.
Nice.
You recall that there was a cult within the Word of Blake that was known for the use of specific types of implants that even if their body suffered trauma that would kill a normal person, would essentially reboot them and get them back up. And in that moment,
Well-
you put 2 and 2 together. She was shot in the head. She has one of these implants.
Actually, I don't think my character knows she was shot in the head because my character didn't interact with her. We got on the ship and
You did
left.
see her. You saw her with
Yeah.
a massive head wound. And I'm gonna say at that moment though, you think
Yeah.
she has a military grade implant in her head.
I want one.
She is far more than a simple mechanic.
Well, that's probably important. But right now, we have a mission to get through, and that's something that we can keep in the back of my head for
Because
when we're
you
all safe.
selected Brooks to go with you, you were able to acquire 4 more suits. So you have a total of 7 suits for the 4 of you and the 5 of them. 2 people not going to have a suit.
Well,
Now your ship still has an oxygen supply that
Yes.
lasts a couple of days.
so the first thing that we...
2 people in medbay that probably don't need suits, right?
Oh, I know George has the rash, and at this point, I think we want the suits not just for oxygen, but for
Containment.
containing the risk of infection. So right now, I think that the people that need them the most are probably the main crew and no,
Brooks,
George is already infected. We
Over the
can't talk
comms,
about that.
Brooks says, she goes, it might be good for us to know where this ship was headed. Can we try to find the bridge?
Headed.
Like
Like where the med ship was headed?
yes.
I thought that it was put there intentionally to just blow up. It
Well,
wasn't anywhere.
and that's my thing. Is I get the feeling that this, where it was intended and where it was actually intended for are probably two very separate things.
I wonder if the
It was
crew
probably
might
intended
know.
to be sent to this base down here, but I get the feeling that it was destroyed up here as a way to contain whatever was inside of it. So I think that at this point we're going to have to get down to the base that's down there anyway to salvage whatever we can to get back up and running with this. So I think that first we need to seal things so that the oxygen supply can start to replenish and
She
get.
says she may be able to find some salvageable critical repair components for the ship. If you can just help her get over to the bridge before heading back.
Yeah. My other thought is trying to figure out a way to sanitize these suits before reuse.
The locker that they came from was a hermetically sealed locker. There's a when it opened.
But if we're getting onto the ship,
True.
we want to have a way to sanitize what we are wearing before coming
I
back.
see.
Because if there is this disease on the ship that I've not really relayed to, I don't think I relayed to anybody that George is sick just yet. We want to be able to sanitize these before coming back onto the ship.
All right, so you hear Brooks on the comm saying she would like to go to the bridge.
Yeah.
Like you guys hear it too.
Yeah.
What do you guys say?
The bridge? Where the bridge?
She says that navigation information is kept in the bridge. You want to roll protocol anything?
My highest protocol.
I think you have protocol all for like.
I
something
have
like that.
literally every protocol listed.
That's like her thing. She just
Yeah.
studies protocol
Yeah.
for everybody.
I have a +3.
Ah! 8.
Nine.
She's being oddly specific, knowing exactly what she's looking for. Something that she's not telling you. But it seems like she really needs whatever's on the bridge.
Which isn't it?
Go ahead, just be careful.
All right, you got the clear. You want to roll for rookie to let you guys leap to the bridge? This is going to be 5 rolls.
Can I? Oh, wait.
Is 11.
All right. Basically, don't roll below a 4.
That is 10 exact. That is 11 again. That is 13. And that is 8 plus 6 is 14.
Okay, you guys successfully make it to the bridge. The bridge has not been blown apart. It's almost like they used Gauss cannons to rip the head off the ship. It's mostly intact. The captain of this ship, his body is still strapped into his chair. And a pistol is still in his hand. And he has no head.
What is he?
Dead. That's what he is.
Draconis Combine? Does he look like
Okay,
one of the
that's-
civilians?
We already know that this ship had the Draconis symbols on it, so he's presumably Draconis.
Well, I just was asking.
His flight suit is a medical flight suit.
Yeah.
The medical cruisers are considered unaffiliated.
Yeah.
Any medical cruiser that comes into your system,
They're like medics.
even if you're at war, is not targeted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Medics are neutral.
He is clearly the captain of a recognized medical ship.
And he was attacked.
He was.
There is a
captain.
pistol in his hand, covered in blood,
And he has
his
no
body
head,
has no head.
which tells me all I need to know.
Yeah, that tells me what I need to know too.
You want me to go in more detail?
No. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean,
The ceiling above him
Okay.
is covered in stuff.
yep. Yeah. So something tells me what I needed to know here, and and that tells me that presumably whatever was supposed to be contained in this was not as contained as it should have been, and got out. And the ship and the crew got sick. And rather than allow this infection to spread rapidly as it has been, the decision was made to purge the infection, so to speak.
Scuttle the ship. He chose to go out with dignity
Fair
on his
enough.
own terms.
So, as we get to this bridge,
So Brooks immediately goes over to a different panel than the navigation system. She goes to the comms system.
and that's and is that something that I noticed? Like that what she has said is she
Roll
wants to nav-
perception.
Would this one be more of a mechanics computers kind of thing? If I know that she's going for one system and I've noticed that she's going to another?
I'll let you add that to your perception because she is intentionally being deceptive. At this point, though, you recognize her.
So that is 7 plus perception is 10 plus mechanics is 15.
So she hooks this battery up to this one again, and the screen fires up on the comm system, and she starts typing some stuff in on the keyboard on it, and a string of numbers and letters appears as her login name, and then below it, where to type in a password. She types in a password, it comes up as asterisks, and it says login accepted, and you see this little symbol up in the corner that is a security protocols symbol that basically means if you can see this symbol, ensure that no one else can see you. This is sensitive data for your eyes only, and you see her just kind of move her body between you and the screen.
Exactly.
You want to roll streetwise?
Get it. Get it, Drew.
I'll let you add protocol to that. Protocol Federated Suns.
Perfect.
That is 8 plus streetwise, which I don't have any in, so plus Federated Suns protocol is
Yep.
10 total.
You think she might be a secret agent?
For who? Can I come by?
Well, I think this one is large enough that, I mean, as much as my character is all fine with kind of turning the other way and getting things done, I think this one is large enough that,
What you doing?
what's your game here, Brooks? I
would kind of,
You,
give a little
over the
shimmy.
comms, you hear this conversation. All right, so.
Oh, I was fine with keeping this off of the comm.
Oh, okay, not on the comms,
Yeah.
so just
Nobody else needs to know this
proximity
right now.
comms.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Both traders.
No.
What's going on here, Brooks? Is that what you say?
Yeah,
to
yeah.
her?
Like, what's your game here? You said that you wanted to go to this navigation, but that's not a navigation computer.
She says, I need to know the last person they talked to. In addition to where they were planning to go.
There's something you're not telling us.
And she looks you right in the eye and she says, this is above your pay grade.
Whew. And that may be the case, but at this point, this is about survival, and if all of us are to survive, there are things that need to be known.
There's a rat.
She says, tell me what you know about the icy moon that you were intended to die on.
Well, we were sent there to blast it up, and we were obviously being used as patsies. And I've come to learn that there was a sickness spreading. This ship is where the quarantine we're supposed to be, and obviously, it was not as contained on the ship as it was thought it was.
So she says to you, well, she starts asking you a couple of questions. And roll streetwise first as she's doing this.
Can you opt to exchange info? Because just giving is, well.
That is an 8. Am I adding anything else, or is it just...
Streetwise.
Yep, then that's just straight up 8.
So you get that, the impression you're getting from her is that she's only withholding the information from you that she's required to. And she says, in her questioning, she goes, you were sent to blow up farming domes on an ice planet.
Yeah.
Clearly, the entire planet was not covered in those domes. There was just enough to feed the people. What do you think the industry is in these several sectors?
Well, one of the big things that we found was Starleague Tech.
She reaches down on her side and pulls off a gauge and tosses it to you as it's tumbling through space.
I'll grab for it.
She threw you a Geiger counter.
What is that?
I track radiation.
She says, turn it on.
I'll click it up.
It's showing radiation. Clearly the planet below is emitting enough radiation that you can detect it from where you are.
The moon?
Yeah, the
Yes,
moon below.
the moon below us.
And she says, I only have so many injections. And she pulls this pouch that she carries with her, and she opens it up, and there are 2 rows of syringes preloaded.
Yep.
And there's about 12 of a green substance and 2 of an orange substance. And she says, I can make sure that you leave this facility without radiation sickness, but I'm asking you to trust me.
At least give me who you work for.
She roll persuasion.
It's not something that I have, I think. Make sure.
No.
Where's persuasion?
Yeah, that's a great question.
It's not on here.
Negotiation?
Negotiation would be good. That's probably the best skill here, which I don't have any points in. So that is 7.
She rolled a 3 on the die. Her body moves from the screen. and you see the Comstar logo, Agent 94839B.
Out of character. What is the?
You know Comstar is a neutral faction.
Well, yeah, that was what I was going to ask. Like, as far as that goes, what is the relationship between Comstar and Federated Suns look like?
Comstar is essentially the phone company with a military.
Yeah.
Everybody uses them. And they stay out of everybody's business, but they do have a business of their own. They are looking for Starleague tech just like everyone else. And for some reason, Comstar has embedded a secret agent
In the Draconis Combine.
in the Draconis Combine.
I mean, I'm out of character. I'm sure they have them in pretty much every house, but
This explains why she's able to access all these systems. This explains why she has that implant.
So I guess my first question here is, Rookie could hear this, correct?
Preacher.
Or Preacher?
Preacher's just like
Look,
Poor guy.
wide-eyed, like, oh God, am I dead? Like,
this stays here. Nobody else could hear this.
You saying that to Preacher?
I'm saying that to both of them. That goes to Preacher as more of a don't open your mouth.
You didn't hear anything.
This goes to her as more of a
Preacher's like,
I got your back.
oh man, that explains so much.
Yeah, this goes to her as more of a like, to be clear, nobody but us know this.
Preacher looks over at Brooks and he's like, so
So we
all those
would go-
bodies in the morgue. And and Brooks looks over and goes, not a word. He's like, she's like, I'm gonna be straight with you. Your only hope of surviving the next 3 weeks is in that base down there. You've already been exposed.
Yep.
Everyone's been exposed. So that med kit was in the morgue, yes. Whoever uses that med
Well,
kit or use that med kit touched
The
it in
med
any way,
kit
shape, or
was
form.
sealed. Most of the time, those things are sealed to keep them safe. The problem isn't that. The problem is all of us have interacted with George. Some of us have been to the morgue and interacted with. Some of us have been to the morgue and interacted with body bags that had things that were infected with that virus. And whatever that virus was on the planet that we were on, that all of our mechs were on.
So, Brooks gets on the comms and says, Nadia, access Starleague data file, and then she lists this like long number, and then she's like, access code, and gives another long number, and Nadia goes, one moment, and she comes back and says, she's like, I've accessed the file, Agent Brooks. What would you like to know?
Why do I feel like a mistress? She knows it so well.
So I have a quick question. If it was advantageous to Brooks, would she betray us to get whatever she needs to Comstar? Like if we had, like Nadia, for example, would she try at one point take us out, take Nadia to Comstar as like that's who she works for, right?
That's a possibility, yes.
So I just wanted to make that, well, no.
So, she says, Nadia, please read the abstract. And Nadia basically breaks down the abstract from the old Starleague files that they were researching viruses because they were trying to use them as a means of war without war.
Why put your own troops at risk when you can?
She says the base below was one of these centers for disease control where a virus that is mostly harmless at first, with the only symptom being a pallid complexion, a slight bit of nausea, and a rash that appears at the nape of the neck, followed 21 days later by sudden death.
Well, that's
We better eat it.
yeah. We
And then Nadia says, "Oh, that's terrible. I don't want to be alone again."
How long has George had this rash? Can we ask him that? Or is that not something I would know? Or
that's not.
You don't know
something-
he has
You don't
it.
even know because I've kept that.
You've been in a turret.
that's fine. I was just wondering if we could figure that out.
That's something that I've kept to my chest because
That's fine.
right now it is better for us to focus on what we have going on
Right.
and get it dealt with now than have everybody freaking out because there's this thing.
And so Brooke says, "I did not provide you that information. But if you survive this and that information gets out, you will not survive losing that information.
Then
No one will protect you."
Love
How-
the position we've been placed in.
how can I be assured that what we have is safe?
What do you mean?
Oh, you know exactly what I mean.
No, I mean as a DM.
Oh, Nadia.
Oh, okay. So when she asks about, you're asking her about Nadia, she says, "Nadia is Comstar property. But if we can make it out alive, I could be persuaded that I didn't see any."
I honestly don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
You're kind of between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're kind of just gonna have to do what we have to do. But
Flew me in on everything. I'm the persuasive one.
So she says to you when she holds up that pouch, she says, "I have 2 doses of the antidote.
I knew there was an antidote.
It must be administered before the rash sets in."
Bye, George. Bye, George. Goodbye.
well,
Oh well, it's fun.
hopefully,
She says, generally within 72 hours of exposure. She says, "I took my last dose yesterday, so I will be fine."
well,
Let me get one.
here's the problem.
These are the 2 that she was issued for her personal use.
Yes.
And next to those 2 is a cyanide capsule.
Okay, fair enough. Give that to George. George, here's your antidote.
Well,
Whoa, that got dark real fast.
For the rest,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Again, right now, I'm the only person who knows that he already has the rash. Okay.
Yeah, so stop.
Once the rash sets in, you've got about 5 days before you
So
drop dead.
I thought it was 21 after the rest of them.
No, 21 days after exposure, you die. The only symptom is a pallid complexion, slight nausea, the rash at the nape of the neck, and then followed 5 days later by sudden death.
that sounds like how I like to play Plague Inc. Anyway,
It
Is the
is
case.
known to be 100% fatal.
yeah. When I mean, like you said, that sounds pretty much exactly like how I like to play Plague Inc. I devolve all of the symptoms that are actual symptoms, and then once I make sure that everything's infected, that's when I start to put the kill switch
That's a
in.
smart way to play.
Anyway, I'm the only person that knows George is currently infected. At this point, we have not enough doses for everybody who's already been exposed. We're going to have to go to ground to figure out if there's a way to get rid of this infection after. But right now, we have 2 doses for what, like 9 people? So we're going.
So she's going to tell you one other thing. She says all the scientists in that facility below likely have the same implant as me.
So there's people in the base down there?
Well, now we do. Now we
They
know
said
that.
that it was a fully utilized. Like, Comstar has known about this for a while.
Will they attack us? Because it's Comstar, yes?
She says, I don't think you understand.
Wait, okay.
You don't probably know.
Well, she's talking to him. She
No,
says the
I know I
implant.
don't.
I'm going to explain out of character. The
Okay.
implant jump starts your systems.
Yeah.
Yes.
When it runs out of juice, it needs to be recharged.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
The planet below is emitting a strong enough radioactive field that she believes their implants will not turn off, even when they die.
Scientist. I dislike zombies.
I just.
Well,
She said something similar happened with the word of Blake at one point in time.
well, let's get these repairs done. Whatever information.
All right, well, go ahead and roll for your
Mechanics.
for your mechanics. Just don't roll snake eyes, and you'll be able to pull what you need from this craft.
That is 8 plus 5 plus like
You're good.
1.
You're able to get enough spare parts that you should be able to patch up your ship. It would take you about 3 days with extra help to be able to patch it up.
So,
Okay.
George only has 5 days.
Correct.
Yep. And that means that if I am doing that,
George does not have long, and he has no hope. And while you guys are talking, Brooks goes over to where the pilot is and pulls down the jumpsuit. And you see the rash on the nape of the neck.
Yep.
On who?
the
pilot
pilot
off
who no longer
himself.
has a head.
Ah, got it. Okay, I thought it was one of our other guys from.
No. So basically,
No, not this pilot.
basically at this point, I am going to come over the comms. And I'm going to at least relay the information that George is sick. Nobody is to interact with him without a suit.
You hear George's voice back over the radio. What do you mean?
Hi, George. Go see your wife.
No! You stop
I
talking.
mean,
You're so wrong.
That was out of character.
you
Okay?
you know the sickness that has been spreading. You know that you have been affected. So, right now, the best course of action to keep everybody safe is to quarantine you. And so, at this point, you're going to need to stay on Nadia. And if anybody is going to,
This song's so happy for
It
as
is.
dark as this is right now. It
It
doesn't
is.
seem appropriate.
if anybody is going to get on to Nadia to do whatever they need to do, they're to do it. And one of the suits.
What you're bringing, right?
I'm bringing more of them, yes. I will.
George
bring
says for extra layer of protection, if you give me a suit, I'll get in it.
and if
That suit would have to be burned after that.
well, what I'm hoping is when we get down to the planet that there's going to be some way to sanitize these suits.
George will immediately speak up. He's like, if we're going planet side and I've already gotten the sickness, I volunteer to go.
And I think that is one of the best case scenarios. We're going to need to spend some days repairing the ship before we can go anywhere. I've got the supplies to do so. I need the time. Right now, it's looking like we're going to have to kind of split things up and have some people stick behind to repair, and some people are going to have to go explore this base. And
Brooke says that she has the clearance to get through the base, so she would like to go. George says if there's dangerous stuff down there, he's like, I'm a goner anyway. Put me between you and me.
And that is noble of you. Right now,
You won't remember.
we're going to have to figure out how we want to split things so that I can get my repairs done and we can explore this base. I don't know what's on the base. I know that there is quite a lot of radiation from there. I think that the mechs should be safe on the surface and should shield you at least some, but
Rookie is too injured to assist, but Linda and Rookie would both be willing to stay on the ship and work on repairs. Rookie knows what he's doing.
yeah,
I kind
like I
of want to
said,
go planet side.
I think at this point the best case scenario for people going planet side are probably
There are enough suits for the four of you to
Yeah.
go as well. So you have a total of 8 suits for 9 people.
so. Like I said, at this point, everybody has a suit.
Who's not getting one?
George.
Probably Rookie because he's
He's
then
in the med
so
bay.
badly injured.
Well, and there's gonna be the other problem. George has been all over that med bay.
But if Rookie doesn't get to that med bay, Rookie might not make it.
So, I think the first dosage of anything,
Should go to
we have 2 doses right now.
One goes to
Well, again, I don't know that she's been exposed, right?
Yeah, I'm the only one who would.
You're
know,
the only
and
one that
I
knows
would
that.
just now be making that connection as you're speaking.
Would you
over the song.
communicate
Now, Brooke says, I only have 2.
So we only have 2.
And she's like, now by my orders, I gotta save one for me. Unless there's a superseding order, but I can give you the other one.
And I think that right now the other one probably needs to go to Rookie because he's injured and he's going to have to be in that med bay.
for a
And that med bay has had George all over it for the last day, right? And considering the fact that this was so infectious that they decided it was better to scuttle the ship and burn it from orbit, it's pretty infectious.
Yeah.
So I think that if anybody should get it right now, it is Rookie. And then hope that we find enough planet side for everybody else.
All right, well, you return to the ship. You're able to get the ship sealed up enough that you can open up the airlocks again and traverse the ship. Rookie is not doing very well still, but Linda will put on one of the suits and carry him to Nadia. If one of y'all wants to give him the injection, Brooks will give you one.
I'll throw one in.
I don't have medtech, so that's
I have med
somebody
tech
else.
really well.
All right, roll it. To give Rookie the injection.
Oh, okay.
He's -1 for my intelligence. Yeah, so 11.
So he's kind of in and out of consciousness, and he opens his eyes screaming. It burns so bad, and Linda puts her hand over his mouth. Shh, shh, it's okay, it's okay. She's like, and Brooks is like, yeah, that's a side effect. Feels like fire in your veins. That's not pleasant.
That to look forward to.
Yep. So with that,
So Rookie is now safe. He is inoculated for the next 5 days.
so yeah, with that, he's going to be safe
George will be dead in that.
in the. He's going to be safe in the.
George is volunteering to go.
That's the thing is George has volunteered to go planet side.
He's like, I can fight. I'm a good fighter. Let me help you.
Like I said, I'm fairly good with guns considering I'm a mechanic.
I'm really
But I've got to take care of this.
I'll go. I'm not that great with guns.
I am.
I can.
So you and
I'll be the guns. Don't worry
Linda
about
and
guns.
Rookie are going to stay to work on the ship.
Yep.
Then I'm
Is it
basically
Linda?
yeah. Linda is your strongest person, and he's going to need her
got
for
it.
Yeah.
moving stuff.
Especially if Rookie can't.
Because he is injured. He cannot help carry things.
Okay. So any sort of so I will toss my communicator at whoever doesn't currently have one because it's patched into the ship. So I don't need it.
All right, so who's going planet side?
Me.
Three of you?
Those three plus.
All right, so you want...
George.
No. Oh yeah, George, Brooks, and then.
There's George. And Brooks. Anyone else?
Rookie and
You
the other one are
three,
staying.
and then.
All right.
Do we have 9 people? 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 8, right? Rookie, Preacher.
Rookie is out of commission right now.
Rookie's out of commission.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general, we have 8 people, not 9, right? So 4 of us, and then
So Rookie doesn't need to put on a suit
George,
if he's in the med
Linda,
bay.
Brooks, and Preacher. Got it. Okay, cool. We do have 9. My apologies.
So, I think basically everybody but the 3 that have to be on the ship should probably go planet side. Just because right now
You want to center that for me?
we're going to have to cover as much ground as possible.
So your ship is not currently capable of landing. You will need to take on.
Oh, so we have to. Isn't the med bay in there?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
But here's the
We're
problem.
still taking Rookie.
So here's the thing, right?
So since Rookie will be there, let's put his name there. He's just.
I
gonna
mean,
stay
he's
in the
not
ship.
leaving the
Yeah,
ship.
like-
He's just like.
So think of it like this, right? Everybody's going to be fine to get onto Nadia because everybody's already
on there.
well out of character. Everybody's already been exposed, right? My whole thing right now is mitigating that panic. So I'm sure that one already knows because that one's already interacted with stuff that has been exposed. Everybody else might have some inkling because of the fact that they've interacted with George. They probably don't have an inkling on how bad it is.
Yeah, like drop dead in
Because-
5 days.
So
kind
with
of
all of this new information, you realize the reason that they launched that nuke,
also
Cleanse the planet.
eradicate
they were
disease.
actually cleansing the planet.
Yep.
They were actually doing the right thing.
Which also probably which also probably explains why there's such a huge amount of radiation coming from this planet.
Because I nuked it.
Now, I've not done enough investigation or anything to know that in character, but out of character, that is a suspicion that I have.
Would I be having symptoms at this point?
No. Symptoms, so basically you're on a 21-day cycle. We've all been about a day.
16 days after exposure, you get the rash, the pallidness, and the nausea. And 5 days later, you drop dead.
Yep. So we have about 15 days before we would know. But with the amount of radiation coming from this planet, we ain't making it 15 days.
So she only has 12 syringes for treating radiation.
Yep.
They are not preemptive, they are therapeutic. So
Yep.
you wait until you're already getting sick from radiation. to take it.
So, like I said, right now, best case scenario is everybody who's not working on the ship is going to be planet side exploring so that.
So you take Nadia and you're flying down. We'll put that out there. As you are approaching the planet side, or at the moon, right, you're approaching it, you can make out 4 dozen massive craters.
Oh, well, that explains that. That tells me what I suspected. So
Nadia speaks up. She says, "This is incredible. These craters appear to have been made from missiles that match the ones that were launched at you.
12!
4 dozen.
Oh!
They launched 48 nuclear missiles at this moon.
Yep.
That's why the Geiger counter was going off from space.
Yeah, so
Oh, Hannah. Her
I've been
hiccups.
hiccuping the whole
Yeah,
time.
I've-
I want it gone.
I've not said anything, but I have noticed it.
It's a secret.
I knew that was gonna
I
happen.
did too. I knew it was coming.
He scared me as well.
You can timestamp that.
Oh, Hannah.
So I am
I like it. I say we keep it.
I am approaching with the cloaking system on,
Okay.
just in case. I don't expect that there's anything here, but with what Brooks has said, it is possible.
She tells you as she's flying in that there was enough nuclear energy released that the moon has a temporary ionosphere almost. That there's just that much energy was released that the debris, all of the dust that was kicked up is radioactive and interfering with comms. She says, I may be or may not be able to talk with you once you're in this place.
Well, if that is the case, if there is any relevant information that we need right now, speak now, forever hold your peace.
Brooks is going. She's like, I'm going to be honest with you. If their implants kicked in, it doesn't matter if they look human. They're just fleshy machines.
Linda, I love you. That's it. That's all I had.
There's actually so much radiation in the dust cloud that message doesn't even get to the ship.
I mean, you've also probably not interacted with her at all.
I'll never know. It was love at
But
first sight,
Brooks
Jared.
she says, do not hesitate to kill them because
Don't gotta
they
tell me
will
twice.
likely try to kill you.
Will killing them work?
She says, without a head, everything dies.
Okay.
Yep.
Good enough for me.
Fair enough.
Just aim right. No more hands.
Oh, that's not my problem. I'm gonna be on the ship. So
right.
that's your problem.
I will
Okay.
just blow it all.
I'm good at hitting hands and feet.
Yep.
So what she tells you is you're going to have to make like targeted shots. It's going to increase the difficulty of everything.
Oh no, not gunnery.
Yeah. There's a reason I sent you and not put you on the ship.
Useful in some capacity.
So
With my dagger. But I don't think
I don't wanna be that
I don't
close.
either.
well, here's the problem, because these things are not zombies per se. They're still gonna be able to use weapons.
She also says there's one other problem.
Oh
You
no.
don't know what other diseases are contained in this facility.
So don't break
But I
anything.
can tell you they didn't target it, meaning they're too afraid of the dispersal of it. I think you need to go with me.
No.
Well, good thing somebody's good with a dagger.
I'm really good with the dagger.
She says if you miss, you might do more harm than good.
Yeah.
If you use a firearm.
I know you like that propane trick. No more.
George's last hurrah. Just let him go at it.
So when like she says that, you see him like walk over to the corner and he's in his suit, and you can see he's like heaving a little bit because he's kind of tired, and he just picks up a giant mech wrench on his shoulder. He's like, all right, let's go.
Also, I just realized she never used the missile that she got. That
No,
anti-air missile.
I'm keeping it on purpose.
I would not take it with you here.
Let me leave that on Nadia.
Okay,
actually.
cool. You leave your missile on Nadia.
Yeah.
You know, Linda would be really good here because of her chainsword.
Yeah, but
Can I borrow that from
You
her?
mean her? It's not a chainsaw.
Or her mini has a chainsword, but chainsaw.
She has a chainsaw.
Can I borrow it?
You want to borrow Linda's chainsaw.
I mean, we're kind of in this relationship, so what's mine is hers, what's hers is ours.
When did this
When
happen?
did this happen?
She'll know about it later. I mean, the venue will put it for later.
If you want to use her chainsaw, she will let you, but do you have any skill with a chainsaw?
Would melee weapons not work? Martial art?
This is an improvised weapon.
Improvised weapon. What would I be looking? I have small arms.
You'd be looking for improvised weapons.
Oh, is that a thing on you? No.
You don't have it.
I mean,
It would have to be an interest.
an interest. I have gunnery all and interest fine dining.
Fine dining with a chainsaw.
I'm just.
All right,
I'm
let
cooking.
me look this up real quick.
Sorry, George. You're being replaced.
I need.
I have gunnery
there's-
all.
I have
so-
thrown weapons.
I have martial arts.
I figured throwing knives is my little, something like that I break down.
Much harder than it looks.
Oh, I'm trying to find.
Also,
these-
most knives aren't balanced.
There we go. There's the index. I'm looking for the thing real quick. Give me a moment.
Honestly, though, axe throwing easier than I expected.
I agree with that. I did really good with axe
So
throwing.
did I. I'll have to find the pictures from when I did
They
it.
have axe
So,
throwing at Winter.
They have so the place that we went to for my brother's birthday for his 16th had axe throwing, and it was at least it was easier than I expected. It wasn't easy, but it was easier than I expected.
Paintball's kind of my
Okay,
thing.
so if we look under
There's paintball there too, and the laser tag.
archaic weapons, club or improvise is a weapon skill.
Like specifically?
Yes.
Okay, well I wouldn't have known to add that to my dudes, so
It's okay.
my dude don't have it.
So let me look at modern melee weapons. I'm going to treat this like a vibro axe.
What, the chainsaw?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You treat it like
probably uses the same tech.
yeah.
What did you
So
think
APBD is
wait,
6M and 4.
Hold on. Where's my weapon? Okay, say again.
APBD is 6M and 4.
Okay,
Has
so
a range of
instead
0. It is melee only. It gets one attack. But that attack is crazy, but you get -2 to your attack roll.
Okay. Going a little.
And it requires an aimed shot to hit the head. So,
Okay, I'm sorry.
if
can
you want to wield that chainsaw, you're going to have to roll 8 or better on your attack to kill things. But
Okay,
if
so-
you hit them, they die.
So chainsaw, 6M/4 for the
Yeah, just
ATP.
basically, here's what you need. You need to roll an 8. Because you're aiming for the head to kill.
And I get one. Okay, cool.
If you hit, you kill.
Awesome, I love it. I assume if I find a knife, I can apply my martial arts to it.
Sure.
Okay.
I have a knife.
What does APBD look like for?
So here's what I'm going to
Here.
say. We're gonna treat this the same way as the chainsaw. You're going for headshots. Body shots will do nothing. So you're going to need to roll an 8, and you have to make 2 hits to do what she does with 1.
Do you not have one?
Yeah, because these.
Do you not have
you can hit
a
it twice in the
vibro
head.
blade?
No, I don't have one right now.
Then I will
He's going to give you 1.
unclip mine from my belt and
Right. So you
have
both
the
have a
stab.
vibro dagger. So instead of a regular dagger where you'd have to stab repeatedly, you only have to hit twice, and she has to hit once. But you're looking for.
Does that have
advantage.
a chainsaw?
Yes.
It's like a chainsaw.
All right. So as you land next to this facility, it looks like a mining facility. But there are biohazard signs.
And zombies.
no, we haven't seen that.
haven't
Not
seen
really
that.
zombies.
Not yet.
And near the entrance, there are signs that because this is like there's a lot of dust and such. But you can see where another craft was here recently. It's obvious. And the dust from the explosions has settled into where this other craft landed. So it was not that long ago that someone else was here.
Maybe that means those bad guys to fight.
Or more.
Or more. Let's go ahead and flip this over. So yeah, I am borrowing maps from Starfinder, sorry.
Thank you, Starfinder.
Thank you, Starfinder.
All right, so where everyone is going to start is right here.
Keep that in. This is
You've got my
Denver.
lotus.
This is
All right,
Locust.
so Brooks and George are here. All right, where is everyone else going?
I'm probably up front because I have the guns.
You mean the blades?
All right, what is your
the
movement?
chainsaw.
We're not doing that.
I'm on the ship.
What's your movement?
My movement, my walk is 10.
Okay, so on this map, it's essentially you can move a number of tiles equal to half your movement. This is a low gravity area. You're gonna have to be intentional in the ways that you go. If you jump, you'll hit the ceiling.
How tall is the ceiling?
The ceiling's about 10 feet, but the gravity assist is clearly disabled and the emergency lights are on.
This
As-
is very scary.
As you open the door, only the emergency lights are on. And there are 7 desiccated, torn apart corpses
Stop.
We have heads.
of medical staff.
They have heads.
They appear to have been torn apart and gnawed on.
So they're not coming back to life, right?
Those kind of
No.
zombies. Oh no.
They are wearing the same flight suits as the captain that you saw.
Okay. Bye, George. Good luck.
No, I'm the only one that saw that. That's here. So,
Yeah.
or I'm
Brooks-
not here.
Brooks saw it too.
Oh, Brooks saw it too. Yeah. So Brooks would know that.
I just got deja
That's
vu.
the only one that's the only one that's with y'all that would know that. So
But like when you get to the door, like she types in some numbers and the door is just open.
I all of
and
a
then
sudden
they
don't
were
want to go
there.
anymore.
You see her walk in and look down, and she rolls one of the bodies over, and she picks up a hand flamer and tosses it to George. And starts rolling the others over. There are 2. Are any of you good with? Are you proficient with the use of flamethrowers?
No,
You
but I
have
have
gunnery
small
all.
arms
You have
and I'm
gunnery all.
gunnery all.
This would be more demolitions.
I think I put
I would be
down
useful there.
demolitions. Hold on, let me check.
It's right under here.
No, I didn't actually.
I would
In
be.
order to use a flamethrower to fight without destroying where you are, you would have to have demolition skill.
Has anyone else got it?
Can I just-
Wise?
Oh no.
George is a minor and has very high demolition skill. And Brooks is a secret agent, and she also has it. But if you have demolitions, by all means take it. Player characters go first.
No, I do not have demolitions, right?
And do you want to use the flamethrowers, or do you want to leave them to Brooks
It's
and
not
George?
worth risking.
Let's let them Brooks and George.
Yeah, because if you miss, then a disease.
For Brooks and George, as long as they don't roll snake eyes, they will hit with the flamethrower.
Yeah, see, this is where it would be nice for me to be there. I have 7 demolitions.
Yeah. Would it?
Repair
so
the ship
it only
never
takes 6 demolitions to hit on anything with snake eyes. So he would have been really good with a flamethrower at this point. But I
I
will
mean,
let
those-
one of you roll for Brooks and let the other roll for George.
Merlin,
Who do you
we
want to
miss
have
you.
roll?
I'll take George.
Okay, so you'll roll George. Which of you wants to roll Brooks?
I can roll. Right.
Okay. So just don't roll snake eyes and you'll be successful on the hits. Okay, so George, Brooks says, this is your crew. She says, but I would recommend one of us with a flamer in the front, and one with a flamer in the rear.
Sounds like a smart plan.
And she looks over at George and goes, I got this. And you see him like adjusting the dials and he turns and he's like ready to go.
So I want Brooks in front and George in the back.
You want George in the back. Okay.
I think George should go in the front.
I think she doesn't trust Brooks, so she would rather have her in the front. That's my thought.
I think
sensible.
that's fair. I was thinking if
Actually,
anyone.
and that would make sense for my character too, because my character trusts nobody.
Cool.
Or anybody that
And
isn't
let's get a
Sarah.
marching order. So Brooks then in the front, George in the back, and then your mechs will be for each of you. You will
I
use them
think I
as
should
your
go
miniatures.
close to the front since I have the chainsaw.
Okay,
I'm
so
more likely to hit
we'll
something.
put you right next to Brooks. And then who's...
I'll go behind that.
All right, put you right there. You want to stand back by George?
Sure.
All right, you are next to George. You're on the ship. Okay. So we are going to go in the order. You're controlling Brooks, right? No, George. You're controlling George. You're controlling Brooks. So you and Brooks are in the front. What are you guys doing?
There should be one more person there, correct?
No, there should be.
There's the three of you.
And there's 5.
Brooks
three
and
of us,
George.
3 of us are on the ship of 9.
There's someone in Nadia in the med bay.
Yeah, Rookie's in the med
Rookie's in the
bay.
med bay. So, but there's 3 of us that are on the ship. It's Rookie,
Linda
Preacher.
and Rookie and...
Linda, Rookie, and me.
No,
George.
Preacher.
Preacher is missing from here.
Preacher's not going.
Preacher was helping you and Linda, I thought.
Yeah. Preacher's helping you and Linda. George is in
So here's
quarantine
Preacher
and Rookie is in the med bay.
helping.
Oh,
And there's Linda.
I thought it was Rookie that was staying to help us because he's injured and we don't need a whole lot out of him.
So here's what I thought.
Yeah, Rookie's
This is
dead.
what I was understanding. You need Linda's muscles.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need Preacher's brains for your second pair of hands. And we need you.
Yes.
Rookie is unable to fight.
He's stuck in med bay no matter
Right.
what.
And George is
Quarantine.
here.
Oh, George is with us.
George is with you.
Yeah, George is with you.
And Brooks is with you.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
what
everybody.
I was thinking too.
Okay, yeah, then that's everybody. So while they're down there, go ahead and make your first mechanics roll.
It is 10, 11.
You're good. Okay. So you make some headway. What are you two doing? This is going to be Brooks and... What's your character's name again?
Arden.
Arden. Brooks and Arden. What
That's
are you
so.
doing?
That's. I like it. I just was like, that's my name. You know? We haven't used my name yet. Alright. Should we go explore these side rooms or should we start making headway forwards?
Brooks would say she has not been in this particular facility, but what you are looking for is an engineering lab.
Alright, let's go to each of these side rooms because who knows what. It's also
together, right?
Yes,
So we don't
together.
Get flanked? Okay.
yeah, and then also think of it, and there could be Starleague tech in here as well. It is a Starleague base. So it'd be cool if we could find some other things.
Would love to get more gifts for Nadia. I need to live
Hey
past 3
Nadia,
weeks.
you getting any pings from anything in here?
She says when the door opened, 15 communicators went active.
Yikes.
Is that how many enemies do we have in here? How many zombies? 15?
Maybe.
That's my assumption.
Possibly that many scientists. Possibly.
Former scientists.
Zombie scientists.
I say we also clear these rooms also because if we're going up here and they start we make noise and they drift up here, that's not good. So we should clear it as we go. It will also eradicate said disease and help clean the world. You know, this is it. I say we clear it as we go. Because we don't want to get flanked on all sides.
She
Not a
says
bad plan.
the main objective is to find antidote.
True, but we have so and so many days.
She
We're not
says,
on like
I
a
also
3-minute
have
time crunch.
another mission critical objective that I must complete and cannot leave this facility without.
Would you mind sharing that with us?
She said if I told you I'd have to kill you.
All right.
She makes me mad.
Well, I think the only way we're all gonna find what we need is to explore the whole base.
Roll streetwise.
I'm gonna roll streetwise, and I have a 10 in that. Where's my streetwise? There it is. 4, 5, 15.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 15.
You don't think she intends to leave this place standing when y'all walk out?
Excuse me?
Yes.
Bless you.
Like, she's like, this is a mission for her.
No. You think that she was ordered to destroy
Oh,
the facility.
I thought that she was going down with George. I was like,
No.
okay, cool. I misread that.
That this coming here right now was her primary objective. the
Oh, I
entire
completely
time.
agree. Destroy the whole place, after we get what we need. So I say we go this way first. Should we go
That
that
the way you're going?
Looks like.
Which way are you going?
Sure.
You're going this way.
Sure.
Yep.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You come to there. Are you going ahead of Brooks with the chainsaw or behind her?
I don't want to go first. She can go
Okay,
first.
so she goes first
Not
and
gonna lie,
around
I
this
don't
corner.
want to go first. That's a lot of them.
Running up the hallway,
Zombies.
mindless, screeching, howling scientists. You hear it from up the hallway. So you ran. They immediately triggers the reaction. They come up. Only 3 of them can reach Brooks. They are going to attack her.
Is she dodging?
I think Brooks is trained to fight back, and she has a flamethrower.
Yeah.
So you can roll to attack.
4 on the die. I don't know what her mods are.
Yes, she only needs a 4 to. That is the target number on the dice. She turns, and one of them just starts clawing at her, and it's not getting through the suit. And you see one reach down and pick up a shard of metal, and he just chucks it at her. And it stabs right into, make sure it's the arm. Yes, into her arm.
So her suit's breached.
Her suit is breached, and she's there. She has been stabbed in the left arm. There is another one off in the distance who's going to pick up a big, a mining tool, and chuck it at you.
Okay.
And missed.
So the one that she fired the flamer at.
I have a question mechanically.
Hold on, let me roll damage. It's dead. I'm going to take him off. First one.
First one, this one?
Yep.
Here you go.
It is unanimated. Or de-animated.
And it falls to the ground and it starts twitching, and you see there's an implant on the back of the head that flashes
Question.
repeatedly
If
as this thing is
instead of-
flailing and burning.
If we rip out that implant, would the person die?
The person's already dead.
Already
They're,
dead.
they're already dead.
Okay.
So she is screaming
mechanical
and
question.
hold on, she's screaming and she's going to attempt to stomp on the head of this thing. Roll for her to stomp. She needs a 5. Yes. So she stomps on its head and right where the implant is, and you see there's sparks and the body stops moving. Your question.
Can we regain health?
You can get first aid and you can spend some time healing in a bio lab, but there is no
Would I have not
instantaneous
gotten
healing.
first aid when we were on the ship?
Yeah, you would have gotten patched up on the way
Okay, so
here.
I'm at full health then.
I'd say you're 1 shy of full.
Okay.
Same for me.
Yeah. You would have gotten treatment.
I think I'm lots of
Before you came here. This suit you're wearing has a helmet.
I was 2 points from death.
Oh!
That's wild.
Oh, I have 18 health.
Okay, so what are you doing now, your actual character?
I'm gonna run up the hallway. I hear fighting. I can only move 3. That's half of my movement speed.
Move 3.
You look around the corner, you see they are being engaged by zombies.
Can I sprint or run? That would put me to a 10 total.
Yes. Roll athletics to see how easily you get by the melee in front of you.
I don't think I have that skill. Acrobatics?
I'll let you use acrobatics.
Well, I don't have that skill. I was
Athletics,
just
like being an athlete.
I don't think we have that skill.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, that's a skill. You may not be athletic, but it is a skill. And in here, hold on.
There's also the running skill, which
That's what I'd say is running is what it would be under, I think. There it is, running. Do you have the running skill?
I do.
All right, cool.
Seven.
Yeah, I'll say you just barely get by, and you're gonna go up and try to stab one of these things.
Yes.
All right. You are right next to Brooks, who just stomped on one.
And then roll the hit.
Yep. So you're gonna use martial arts, or which skill do you use?
I have a 3 in both melee and martial arts.
Okay, so like melee weapons, you need a total of 8.
Oh yeah, that's an 11 on the die.
Okay, cool. You run up and you stab it once, and you get one more attack. Okay, so you stab it twice, and you see the thing attached to its head sparks, and it falls to the ground.
Ew.
What do you do?
So if my run's 22, that means or was it sprint that you were doing?
I was doing run.
Run? Okay. So if I get there with 11 movement, that would get me there, right?
To get through them, I'm going to need you to roll the skill to get through. I'll let you use running. What's your question?
Right.
So if we know that it's the implant that keeps these things going,
Yeah.
that, but also could one specifically target wherever the implant is?
Yeah, if you hit the head, you're going to hit the implant.
And go for that. 'cause-
Easier to just slice the head off, right? Because that's what I was thinking earlier. That's why I pointed out if we like removed them, but I was like, it's faster to just chop off a head.
So essentially,
try to,
you
like,
need an
pull
8,
something
and that's
off,
it.
you know.
You only need 1 attack, and you need 2, and that'll take this thing back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you made any other attack to any part of the body, it would be useless.
Well, that's kind of like the way it kind of I'm seeing it in my head is it's more so that like the 8 is going specifically for the head and not the implant because it's
harder to
destroying the
hit.
head. Well, yes, but that's kind of my thought is if you destroy the implant, it would be harder, but would it?
If you were targeting the implant, I'd say you need to roll a 12. But the chainsaw is 1 hit takes out the
Yeah.
head anyway. If you roll a 12 or higher on your attack, then yeah, I'll give up. You get the implant. You don't have to hit it twice.
It was 8 for the running check.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll give you that. So it'll put you right up in front. You're attacking.
Yeah. I have a vibro dagger that was along to me.
Yep.
The vibro blade, not a vibro
Vibro
dagger.
blade. Oh, okay. So how much damage is that? It is still 2. Okay. How does this work? I'm adding.
Your melee skill or your martial arts. I'll let you
They're both
use.
a mod of 2, so 10.
All right, 10. The first one's a hit. You need to hit a second time to be able to take it down.
5.
You have edge to
Want to
spare.
spend some edge?
Yes, remind me how that works?
Okay.
You subtract a point of edge and re-roll those dice. Re-roll the one you want to change.
The one die I want to change?
Yep.
Okay. 4, 6, mod of 2, so 8, exactly.
All right, 8 hits it. You take him down.
Which one
Do
were
we
you going
regain
for?
edge at any point?
The one that threw the shard.
This one?
Yeah. You can regain edge. It's not easy, but yes.
Okay. Yay! Took down a zombie.
Okay, and then George is gonna come up behind. George doesn't run very fast, so he's gonna move 6 and stop.
That's alright, he's gonna guard our back.
He'll be at the very back.
2, 6.
Okay. Beginning of the next round. Running up the hallway.
What'd I say? You got this, George.
Oh my god, how
All
many?
of them. You got all of them.
Is that
George.
10
you
in
got
total?
this. I believe in you.
Well, on the plus side,
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 in total from.
All those come running from other areas. 2 of them are going to take swipes at George. The first one will hit George. Second one will not. The one that hits him actually bites George.
Zombies.
Right on the left nipple.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, bite hits his torso. Bites it. Ah!
So, good news.
It does.
Nadia only detected 15 communicators, correct?
Correct.
Well, that's not a guarantee. It's a little bit of hope because there's 15 right here. You know.
Between the ones that are dead and the ones that are
Yeah.
The next one is going to attack. He's right in front. Did we take off the one she killed?
Yeah, we took him off all the ones that
Okay.
we killed.
So one is going to attack you, and one is going to attack Brooks.
Oh, okay.
The one that attacks Brooks is successful and bites her on the left shoulder. The one that attacks you, yes, it bites right where she was stabbed. The one that attacks you missed.
Okay.
It lunged at you like it was trying to go for your throat, and you're like you hold it at bay.
Reminded me of when do I roll for her to attack back? Because you were saying that's what she would do if she was attacked.
Well, now we'll resolve your attacks. So in order, Brooks will attack first.
Say, guys.
Ooh, she is injured
She is distracted.
and missed. All right, next person in the order was you.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and try and hit the zombie that is trying to eat Brooks.
Yeah. 6 and 1. You said I needed what to hit?
You need a total of 8.
You got any weapon?
Your melee skill. This is an improvised weapon skill.
It'd just be my chainsaw, wouldn't it?
Yeah, chainsaw would add your strength modifier,
Oh, strength modifier. Okay, cool.
but you also be at -1 for being untrained.
8.
And then -1 again for being untrained. So 7.
So you miss with the first attack. Make another.
You could spend your edge.
You could spend edge as well.
Open my edge. 1 edge. 3. Okay, that makes sense. Because you said I needed 8, right?
You have to replace one of the numbers, not add to it.
She did. I did.
Okay,
I
cool.
replaced my 1 with a 3.
Cool. All right. Yeah, an 8 hits. You get it in the head, and Gibbs go all over the place, and you have saved Brooks for the moment.
4 in the moment. Where's my edge? It's up here.
It's right there, yeah.
The one next to you missed. One of George missed. Go ahead and let George attack back.
I'm rolling for George too?
No, I am.
Okay.
He should probably move back one so he can keep them one at a time.
7 plus.
Yeah, that'll do it. So he is going to get a +3.
Plus
for
3.
this.
Okay.
Yay.
Um,
Did I kill one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he should probably
I
take a
would
step.
I'm giving him a reduction because he's sick. Normally you would need to roll a 4. You need to roll a 5.
Oh, he's also not wearing a suit, by the way. Because you asked about that earlier, if the suit helped. He is not wearing a suit.
I thought he was one of the people that got a suit.
No.
I also
No,
thought
he didn't take a suit because he's already infected and already at the point that he was like on the.
Well, he was saying he would wear it to
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
contain
that's
it.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, he's wearing a suit. Rookie is the only one not wearing a suit.
Because Rookie's in the med bay.
But he should also
But he
probably
got an
take a
outfit.
step back so that he can. keep
Sure,
it
yeah.
to
Let's
one,
move him a step back.
so that there's only one space.
Bottleneck him.
All right. And what are you going to do? You going to step into that gap and attack?
Yeah, I think so.
Can you move her into the gap?
Right here.
Yep. All right, roll to hit.
9 on the
9.
die.
Plus 3, I believe. Yeah, plus 3 is 12. Minus 1 is 11.
Yeah, so that hits, but it's not a 12, so you'll need a second attack to take it down.
10 on the die.
12.
Yeah, that one just right into the communicator and the thing drops.
That's 6 dead zombies, I think.
Yep.
Can I use the rest of my movement to get up close to those guys?
You can. Sure.
Good. How far do you want to go?
One space away from them.
Like here?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what are you doing?
You can't prepare an action like in D&D, right?
No. I mean, if your action is, I'm going to take a defensive posture, or I'm going to attack a thing that attacks me, then yeah, I'll let
Yeah.
you do that.
That's what I want to do.
You're just going to stay put, and if it comes to you, you're going to attack?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at the end of the round then, since no
Do we want
one's
to stay in
moved,
tight formation?
one of the zombies raises a rifle.
Oh, no bueno!
Yep.
And it will shoot at you.
We don't want fire.
Roll very
facility.
poorly.
In this?
It missed.
That's also
That's not
not
good
good.
either.
That's not any
Oh,
better.
no, it's not.
It's not.
Storage locker in the wall next to you bursts open, and some sort of green gas expels. And an alarm goes off in the facility, and it blasts some white, steam, smoky substance everywhere. You have zero visibility. And you hear Brooks like, "Ah, it stings!" You have triggered the disinfectant spray in the facility, and there is no visibility.
Hey!
On the plus side, the suits are disinfected.
Merlin, we found out how to disinfect the suits.
I can't hear you through the
Um,
radiation.
Continuing forward, though, the zombies continue to run in the directions they were, which means they're going to get up close and bump into each other, bumps into that one, bumps into that one. So 2 of them are going to try to attack you. They are going to roll 3 dice and take the lower 2 because there is no visibility. And the first one misses. 3 on the dice. The second one misses.
I'm still standing.
I
So,
felt
do
the
you
same
want to
thing.
hit? You can see where you are. There's a thing on the wall that you can press a button and disable the disinfectant system, making it easier to see.
But it would make it easier for them to see too.
Correct.
And they would be more inclined to use firearms. They can't see, they shouldn't. No firearms.
Brooks
gonna
comes over
leave
the
it on.
comms and says, "George, this stuff is flammable."
Turn it off.
You're all covered.
One
They
weapon.
really need to not use those guns. I'm gonna leave it on. See what happens.
Okay. All right. So it's the top of the round. Brooks will act first.
Guys, I need a smoke.
She is going to yank the shard that's stabbed into her arm, and she's like, "Oh!" And like you can hear her grinning and grimacing and grunting, and she pulls a biofoam canister off her side, just like jabs it into the wound,
Good for her, because I wasn't sure what to do with it.
and then she just puts it back on her side and is like, "Let's go!"
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And she is going to feel along the wall. You feel her come up behind you, and you see an arm come past you. She grabs a zombie by the throat right as it's about to bite you, and you see it just pull forward, and she headbutts the thing.
All right. Ugh. I love all these strong women.
Linda or Brooks?
She headbutts it, and the communicator breaks, and falls to the ground.
Both. We're gonna get us a wedding cake. It's gonna be super cute. George, you want one last? You want one last?
You want to roll for George? He's going to try to club it in the head with the flamer.
George can make my wedding cake before he
5
dies.
on the die.
5 is enough for him to hit. It does not do the damage that the flamer would do. So you have to hit second time for him to be able to actually try to take it down.
7 on the die.
Yeah, so he's like, bam, bam, and he will need one more strike to the head to take it out. Because this is just, he's hitting it basically with the propane tank.
8.
Yeah, he's got it. Bam, he smashes its head in. Awesome. All right, so that is Brooks and George. Next up would be you.
I want to go.
You have to
but
feel along the wall to see.
How far can I get?
You're going to move, what's your movement?
Sorry, is it walking?
Yeah.
10 originally, 5 in here.
So you're going to be able to move 3 spaces.
Can I go diagonal here, or do I have to hit?
Yeah, you can go diagonally.
Can I can't share space?
No, you can't. You can pass through, cannot land in the same space. You're feeling along your way to get.
There's
where
kind
you're
of
going.
one here.
Yeah, you can go there.
Okay.
So you're feeling along the walls. You bump into Brooks. You recognize that there's Brooks there, and then she's there as well. You're, okay, and you get right up in there. You hear the howling and screaming, but you don't see anything except the spray coming from the ceiling.
Can I just go straight forward with my chainsaw?
There's not really
There's not really any room for you. You're having to move slowly because you cannot see.
So I can't hit anything.
Not this turn.
All right, I pull up my
You could
gauze
stand
pistol.
there
No,
and
I'm kidding.
prepare your chainsaw to attack the first thing that comes in range.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, guys, combine missile right here.
What are you doing?
That's a great question. I can't see anything. I figure I'd probably help guard this hallway where George is at.
You know George is, you hear all the howling.
Yeah.
And George is engaging something. You
Yeah.
go back there and try to help him.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, Jordan, we all
We're back
fell.
next to
That's Jordan,
George.
I'm not gonna lie.
You get close enough and you see there is a zombie that is like right on him and he's like holding it back.
Alright, go for the head. Do I have to do the 3 dice as well?
You need 2.
2.
His is just a blunt force weapon. You're actually stabbing into the head.
5, 6, not a 2, so that's 8.
So basically you have to do 3 points of damage to the head. Your knife can do 2. His blunt force weapon does 1. That's why it takes 3.
Okay. So I got an 8 on the first attack,
Where her chainsaw does 6.
8 on the second.
All right, cool. You stab it twice, and its body goes limp and falls to the floor in front of George.
Woo!
You walked into a very dangerous encounter.
One more day, George. One more day.
What are you doing? There's one in front of you.
Gonna stab it.
One more day, not for long.
Yeah.
Trying to be optimistic here. We gotta hype him up.
Who's on his last mission, dude?
Yeah, so hype him up.
You're doing great, George.
6.
6 total?
Yeah.
Like you injured the thing, you didn't hit the head.
4. Did it? Do you need to put that one in dice jail? Because I keep seeing that side of that die.
Yeah, I think I am gonna just.
Don't infect
Jail for you. So you missed?
Oh yeah, it's
Uh,
a 2 and a 1.
It's just this the spray, the darkness, the movement. It's too much. You're struggling. You're like, it's engaging you. It's right on you, and everything's slippery now, and you're trying to stab it. You missed.
After missing twice, I'm gonna hit the button on the wall.
Okay.
Are we sure? I don't think that's a good. If he shoots at us,
I would
we
say
can light on
you
fire.
used your entirety of your action to make those attacks. You'd have to turn it off on the next turn.
Okay, we'll see how it goes this next round.
All right. Firing blindly into the dark, it fires another round.
See, it doesn't care about the visibility.
It does not hit anyone
Or anything.
or anything,
Yay!
but bullets all around, ricocheting all over the place. You see a couple rounds go into like the zombie right in front of you, and it's just unfazed as it attempts to bite you.
Ew.
My brother's right.
That's 2 12, or 2 6s. So, yeah, it bites you.
Stop taking the damage. I'm the tank.
On the right arm, 2 damage.
What's your health at?
I have 6 health total.
It
I have
tears
3.
open your suit.
No! Your suit's compromised. It's been breached.
Now, the helmet on your suit, you're still breathing like normally. You have an open wound on your right arm, upper arm. Yeah, it's being sterilized.
It's burning like crazy.
But that's why you got to make a save on body, because the disinfectant hurts. Right now, you're like, how on earth is Brooke standing?
7.
Okay, you're functional. But you're going to take -1 on your attack rolls.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm hitting the button.
The next one is
Probably
going to continue
bad idea.
up forward. It's bumping into
That's
walls.
a bad idea.
It smells disinfectant. It is going to attack the first thing it runs into, but zombie comes into range. Go ahead and make your attack before it does. Remember, 3 dice, the lower of the 3 dice.
I have to take the lower?
You have to take the lower.
So it's 5 plus.
It'd be 4 plus the 2 lower ones, or just
The 2 lower.
Oh.
5 plus. Sorry, I needed an 8, didn't I?
Yep.
You need 8, but you're -1.
You're also +1 because you're strength. So it's
So just 5.
Plus 5. So it comes into range and you miss. So it is going to attempt to attack you with the open wound.
So wait, why do I have disadvantage?
Because you can't see.
can't see anything.
Ah,
The spray is going on. But it also means that they're at disadvantage. Which is good, because it would have got you.
Yeah.
But it
you
misses.
need to like step back. I have
Um,
17. I have
to come
7.
up to the front.
I can't get to the
These
front.
2 are coming up on George.
Who's that? Me. You are in my way. You have
Yeah, you
to.
kind of stepped into the gap.
You have to. I cannot hit any of that.
It
Mind the
successfully hits George. It bites him on the chest again.
They really like
Well, he's got an open
this.
wound there now. Yep. It bites him on the chest. The other one misses. George is going to take 2 more points of damage, and he screams out in agony because he's got a sizable 2 wounds close together on his chest, getting sprayed by the disinfectant. And Brooks is up next. What should Brooks do?
Should we turn off the disinfectant?
If Brooks is there and can turn it off, I think she should do so.
Well,
You ask her to?
here's the big thing about that. The more that the disinfectant is going, the more bites that all of y'all will take. You're disinfected by the disinfectant.
And you won't get that disease.
It'll help stave off the disease.
And can we turn it back on? Because if they listen, if they shoot and hit another chemical, the disinfectant's off. You know, because then I guarantee it'll start firing. If he misses and hits another chemical, then we won't have a way to disperse that chemical. You know what I mean? That's how we got rid of the green gas, was because of the disinfectant.
There are diseases in this area. If they get out, they'll really die. The disinfectant spray is keeping those out.
And that, kids, is why we don't do chemical warfare.
So I'm not gonna ask her to turn it off.
What do you want her to do?
I think it's
You're the one who's going there.
this sucks.
Well, definitely I don't want to turn off the disinfectant spray. I assume we're trying to attack our way through.
She'll try to reach past you and grab one again if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
All right, roll 3 dice. Take the
I like
lower ones.
that. Could someone animate this for personal reasons?
That's about right. Okay, so that's 5 on the die.
Yeah.
Okay, she reaches forward and headbutts another one
Whew.
and takes it out.
Neat.
Good for her.
And y'all were, down on Brooks. This is the reason she survived being downcast. What, you think just a plain old mechanic would have made it through that? No. That was her cover story. Okay, so she reached past and took him down. That is her turn. George can try to fight one off. Roll for George.
6 on the dice.
Okay, that is -1. That's just enough. That he pushes it off of him. Do you want him to back up or try to start hitting him?
He should back up and get close to everyone else. We can make like a giant puddle of all of us.
Okay. He backs up.
Fireball formation.
I think that when he backs up, he's not just going to back up. I think what George would do is he would pick you up and move you out of the way because that's the kind of person George is.
So I think best case scenario is you end up here because then it's only a 1-to-1.
Yeah, I think what he would do is actually push you to there and he'd stay.
Aww, so chivalrous. They say chivalry is dead.
That's
He's
very
just
much what
walking
George's
dead.
character is.
Oh, Ashley! I missed it.
Okay.
Chivalry is dead,
Zombies
and he's
then.
the Walking Dead.
Are going to try to run in to attack George. This one is carrying tools. This one is just going to open fire. This one is going to get in as close as he can. So first, the one that just opens fire at random, he could hit anything. So.
like another
you
zombie.
need to move like back here.
He is going to miss.
You're gonna die.
Alright, that's my plan.
Let's see if he hits anything on the walls. Yes. Another cabinet busts open. When the cabinet busts open, you see several vials of liquid that just shattered and stuff run onto the floor, and you see steaming, but the disinfectant is already spraying, and whatever was in those vials seems to be contained. Aren't you glad you didn't turn it off?
I'm glad I didn't.
Then the other two, because you're still in the front, are the Battletech.
This is not good.
I mean, it's very predictable.
That's
what's
Snake
the
Eyes,
zombies.
go first. And 3 on the dice for the second. The one that's Snake Eyes, I will give you an attempt to fight back.
Five plus 3 is 8, -1 is 7.
Okay, so it comes in, you successfully like fight it off of you, but you don't injure it. Brooks is up first. What do you want Brooks to do?
You shoved Hannah out of the way?
You want to try and have her headbutt somebody again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it 2 dice or 3 dice?
3.
Okay, so 7 on the die.
She uses her last edge point as she grabs it by the throat and headbutts it.
Ooh.
She is out. You didn't know she was burning edge to make these hits.
No.
Is Brooks dead?
No.
Okay.
She headbutts that zombie. She has no more edge to use in this fight. With that headbutt, she is starting to look exhausted.
Yeah, she's probably got like 15 concussions by now.
Well, somebody should
All right,
probably step in there.
what are you doing?
Can I shove Hannah out of the way? Can I shove her back?
If you want to, yeah.
Can I?
Are you going to resist her?
Nope. This way. Whee!
And then you can attack on 1.
On 1. Oh, that
Yeah.
front one.
3 dice.
3 dice. The lower of the 3.
That's 8 plus whatever.
Plus 2
8
minus
hits,
1, that
so-
hits. So, yeah. You hit it right in the head. It is down. The only one left is the one with the gun.
Oh, I should have hit that one.
I figured you were just gonna step
The-
diagonally into the gap and go for it.
The one attacking George with a blunt instrument is going to fail. The one behind it can't reach. So, are you going to try to assist George, or what are you doing? All right. You can kind of reach past the corner to try to stab, but it's going to be -1 on the roll.
Okay. So it's
Three
3
dice,
dice.
minus
Take lower
1.
2.
Minus 1, and then add your bonuses.
Okay. 8, 7, 9.
9 will hit it in the head.
Woo!
You can attack a second time.
Got you, George. Okay. 7,
6.
6, 8.
Okay, 8 hits. And when it falls to the ground, it drops some sort of scanning device that it was trying to beat George with.
Neat. I look at it.
It's some sort of piece of medical equipment you're not super familiar with. If you were not in combat, you may be able to figure it out, but you can pick it up if you would like.
I'm picking it up.
All right, you pick up the medical equipment. You are in possession of a blood testing tool. It can scan for infections.
We need that, because guess what we are? Infected.
Okay.
Okay, next round. Along with the machine gun. Fires again. And he will hit someone.
Me,
Someone.
me.
The one right in the front is most likely.
Me. That's me.
Okay,
Thank you for swapping places with me.
in the chest.
Okay.
You take 8 wounds.
Woo! I'm glad it was you and not me.
You took burst fire to the chest.
I'm still doing better than you,
You
believe it
are-
or not.
I know.
You need to make a body save.
No, not a body save.
No, at disadvantage. That's 3 dice. Take the lower. To not pass out when you are hit. You are looking for a 10 on this save.
1,
You were hit with concussive rounds.
5 plus.
9.
That is plus 1, so 6.
Total?
No, it'd be plus 9, wouldn't it?
No,
So
it's
9 is your score, not your save. So 6 total?
Possibly.
You are knocked unconscious. Chainsaw falls to the floor, as does Art.
Can I throw it at him as I'm...
No, you were hit by
That's
burst
good.
fire, and you are not right next to him.
I was
So let's
gonna
knock her down.
Check it forward.
Brooks will take her turn and leap over you toward the guy with the machine gun. And Brooks has no edge left.
Right.
She is going to try to take the gun from him. So he is not. We're going to roll normally. So
Opposed athletics?
this is opposed.
Okay.
You need
7.
to beat an 8. She does not.
Do you have
Second
edge?
attack
Do you have edge?
has no edge left.
This is Brooks, not me. 9.
10 does not take it.
Oh, she's tired.
She is visibly exhausted. Like she's got skill and moving slow, and she is wounded.
You gotta lift some plants.
Arden is unconscious with chest wounds.
Ooh. Step it up.
So
At 3.
you can either attack the zombie or attempt to stabilize Arden.
You need to
I'm
kill
gonna
that thing.
attempt.
You need to kill that thing. Because if it hits you, you're pretty much dead. With that machine gun, if it shoots,
But you're unconscious.
But
I'm not
if,
dead, I
if the
have-
machine gun hits you,
you're
you
dead.
could die.
So
Here-
I'm not dead.
Here-
I'm
here's
just
the other
unconscious.
Thing, here's the other thing to think about. You are pretty much in a position where right now it is life or death, and you have to take care of yourself before you take care of
Yeah,
others.
Either I die
do
or we
that
all
too.
die. So
Okay.
kill it.
Put on your oxygen mask before you put on the other.
All right, so you're going to jump into the foray and try to stop the guy with the gun. Are you going to try to take the gun, or are you going to
Kill
try
him.
and kill him?
You need to kill
I'm
it.
gonna
Fair
try
warning, he is much larger and tougher and wearing a helmet.
I'm gonna try to take the gun.
Okay. Like the
What
face
would this
mask is
be?
broken, but he has a helmet on.
Is this martial arts?
This is. I will let you use martial arts.
Still at disadvantage, yes.
No, you're going to get up close and personal for this. You're not trying to kill him. You're trying to take his weapon, and he has a 12.
You're kid. I'm burning an edge.
Okay.
Woof.
Okay, guys.
Close. Very close. Okay. Okay.
Much better. Good job.
Thank you. Let me mark that I burned an edge.
But he got a 12. What do you have?
8 before your
8
modifier.
plus 3.
11.
11.
So you don't get the gun, but
There's one thing
yeah, I told you beforehand that he has a +3 and he had a 9 on the dice.
I have one more attempt though, yeah.
Yes, you can attempt one more time. You gotta beat a 10.
Whoops. 11.
Right, you wrestle away the rifle. This is a burst rifle with concussive rounds.
Burst rifle.
It has 15 rounds left. It fires 3 rounds from its 30-round clip. The rounds are air burst.
It has burst what on it?
Huh?
What level of burst?
3.
3.
So you don't even actually have to hit your target. You just got to be close. And if you
already
successfully hit a
possessed.
target, it has to make a save to be knocked unconscious.
I now have 2 burst 3 weapons.
I am curious how that affects a zombie. Because typically the things that would cause a zombie.
You are wounded. This would be very hard for you to wield.
Do not
Have
shoot
an
it
ally
in here.
right there who is uninjured. And very good with
Funny how that
guns.
happens.
Is she close enough that I can just hand her the gun? Or
You
do I
know
need to
she's
throw it?
behind you somewhere. You can hear it. You can shout to her.
Him.
Sorry, shout to him.
Farmer, catch.
What?
All right, so throw it.
Vision's obscured.
That's okay. You're gonna take the lower of 3, and you're gonna try to catch with the lower of 3.
DM said I
You
can't
were
wait.
like, catch what?
Oh. Okay, it's 10 on the dice.
All right, that's good.
Come on.
What do you got?
I don't even know what I'm reaching for. Is it lower than 2?
Yeah,
3.
you're gonna burn some edge to try to catch this thing.
Sure. 7 on the die. What is the mod?
7's enough. You catch the rifle.
Oh, I thought we weren't using firearms.
We're not supposed to use
So these
firearms.
rounds are not like penetrating; they're burst rounds.
Do I know this from looking at it?
Initially, probably not.
Yeah, probably not initially. You're just like, okay, I've got a good weapon for this. All right. You want to try and shoot the zombie in that hallway? It's a pigeonhole. You're gonna roll normally to shoot down that
What
hall.
if she just rests the gun on his shoulder?
He'll never hear again.
Max.
You catch the rifle, aim down the hallway into the dark and the steam, let 3 rounds out, and the zombie pops.
Oh, what?
Thanks.
Thank you. I got him.
Oh, there's one guy left.
All right, Brooks is engaged with this thing. She is going to reach down and pick up the chainsaw.
Cool.
So roll 3 dice for Brooks, please, and the lower of the 3.
6 on the dice.
You hear and you hear the grinding of metal and bone and flesh, and her like ah! She shoves the rotating blade of the chainsaw straight down through the helmet and through the torso of this zombie, cutting it in half from top to bottom.
That is.
That's metal.
It is metal.
That is pretty metal. Yeah.
And then she collapses on the ground because she had no edge.
So we now have 2 people we need to stabilize.
She is unconscious and you are unconscious. She does have 1 use left of the biofoam. She isn't bleeding out. She used that on herself.
I was about to say, so.
If you use that to stop the bleeding on Arden, she will not bleed out. but you have nothing on you to get either of them.
Well, on the plus side, you're in a medical facility.
Yes. Where everything's
On the minus-
infected by disease.
On the minus side,
Oh, everything's disinfected.
I'm gonna take the gel off of Brooks and apply it to Arvin.
Everything's
Okay,
disinfected.
you were
so-
stabilized and no longer dying. But you did take 2 more wounds as you were bleeding.
I still have more.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Says the
How much health do you
unconscious
have?
one. Let's go ahead and knock Brooks down too.
No, how much do
Brooks,
you have?
Brooks is going to require essentially a life-saving kit for her to be of any more use in this facility, and she has all the knowledge.
What is in the room?
You turn off the disinfectant.
So we can see. I think we have to. We're good. We're good.
I hope it did its job, yeah.
Okay, you hit the button and the spray stops spraying. And now you see the carnage. Like, this guy that she killed was a big, hulking experiment gone wrong.
Yeah.
And you realize in that moment, she knew this thing was here. This was the thing she wasn't allowed to tell you about.
Mm-hmm.
They were experimenting on people in this lab.
Well, we know now.
And she just saved your life. She burned that edge that she did not have, and that's what made her pass out. She is not okay. But very likely saved your life.
Cool.
Make another mechanic roll while you're up in orbit.
12, 13.
Is this a comic relief?
That's successful.
13.
So while you're putting this together,
Your
Preacher's
screams
like,
from downstairs, like.
you don't hear
I don't hear
anything.
anything.
Preacher's like, man, I wonder how they're doing. And Linda's like, oh, they're probably just fine. And she like bench presses a 400-pound piece of sheet metal.
So
okay.
can you go into more detail?
Jade out here like, I'm getting a touch of the vapors.
So you are welcome to search the facility now. And George is heavily injured, and you see he is bleeding.
Alright.
So am
I
I.
think I can treat him.
You guys are going to need to
med kit?
find med kits here, or you're not going to make it out.
Luckily, it's a medical
Yes, we're
facility.
searching. How can we find medkits?
Roll investigation.
I'm good at that.
Regular roll now, right?
Regular roll. You can't roll. You're unconscious.
You're unconscious.
12.
With a 12, you find 1 med kit.
14.
Okay, you have 3 med kits total.
So use the first one on Brooke.
You can heal 3 people who are wounded, but you're not going to be able to wake her up with that.
So Brooks, well, let's heal all of us real quick.
Okay, so the bleeding, you'll stop the bleeding and gain 1 hit point back. These are just like emergency trauma kits.
Do I get a hit point?
Huh?
Do I get a hit point?
Yes. If they use it on you. You only have 3. You're uninjured, right?
I'm uninjured.
Okay, then you have.
George has a couple bites out of his chest. She's got a hole in her chest.
Well, they use the biofoam on her, so she's not bleeding out, but she's still heavily wounded.
Use it on George and you.
George has 2 wounds, and you've got 1.
And do it on me.
Well, there's only 3 uses.
Yeah. George,
So you can
Hannah,
seal
and
up.
me.
George has
What
2
about Brooks?
wounds.
Oh, you need.
You're
okay.
stable.
Okay.
I still have 2 wounds left, too.
Okay? And then when he sees that, George will start trying to pack his wound best he can. He's like, I'm not leaving this place.
Thank you, George.
Oh, Hannah.
Well, I I'm not gonna let the man not die with honor. If he wants his honor, I'll let him have it.
I'm gonna die here. Thank you.
And that's when George says, I never came here. This is where my wife worked.
So is your wife told?
Would
I
you happen to know anything?
She
of what
happened
did?
to experiment on people.
All I know is that she tried contacting the authorities under a whistleblower law. She wouldn't tell me what she saw because she said it was dangerous.
That ended up not mattering.
Well, I
when
think
the
we
authorities
know.
showed up, Draconis Combine.
So this is likely a Draconis Combine facility.
What
thought it was
whole
Charlie.
protocol?
I thought it was Charlie.
It's possible that working here, she got infected and brought it back to the colony.
Yep. So is this Draconis Combine or is this Charlie?
So here's the thing. The Star League hasn't been around for like thousands of years at this point,
Yeah.
so it would not be out of the
14.
question.
Okay.
So it would not be out of the question for the Draconis Combine to have come and taken it over.
Okay, that makes sense. Got it.
She sent out a distress call. The Draconis Combine got wind of it. The Draconis Combine realized this was too dangerous to let it out, and they needed to kill everyone who had been exposed and destroy any evidence of its existence. So they needed someone to take the fall so that no one would know it was happening. The double cross becomes a triple cross. The bad guys are maybe not entirely bad.
Doing the right thing, or doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. You know.
There's definitely got to be a better way now.
Not only do I not know that, I don't think it would matter to my character.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Yeah,
care.
he's like, hated him anyway.
So,
On brand for them, don't care.
But that's George's wife's take on the matter. Your understanding of protocol, the Draconis Combine would not be content to just wipe it out. They would want to be the only ones to have it. And it looks like they are.
Lovely.
Because as you search the facility, all the antidotes.
Ooh, that's not good. We need that.
And you have come across the logs in the computer. The medical cruiser that arrived here knew what they were walking into. And most of those people that you saw when you came in didn't make it out. The medical cruiser made it out with the antidote and the last of the virus.
Before it was torched.
And the Draconis Combine as well.
Oh wait, it wasn't torched? It wasn't in that medical cruiser?
And then they torched the cruiser.
So there's
Because
no
everyone
antidote.
was exposed.
Is there no antidote then?
Not here.
but
It was on the medical cruiser, which is destroyed.
there is a thing for Nadia.
The Draconis Combine has it.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. That's supposed to be-
Can we look for the thing for Nadia?
Yes. You find a strange device that you're not really sure what it does, but it very clearly is for Nadia. You gonna take it?
Yep.
All right.
Here's the thing. If it's got all the information from
That's
this
what I'm
facility,
hoping.
in theory it can synthesize the antidote.
The recipe for it.
In theory.
Well, let's get back to the ship and get this to Nadia then.
Okay, so you want to take the medical data with you too. I'm going to need computer skills. So who's your best computer skill person?
Probably
I have
Brooks.
1 point.
I have 5.
Brooks is unconscious.
I know.
If Brooks had made it through, she would have been able to get it on her own.
I have 5 levels of computers.
Okay, go right ahead. Roll computers.
That said, Brooks would probably have taken it and kept it. So
Yep.
That's fair.
We hide it from her, yes? She's
Not here.
kind of working with us, kind of not working with us because she has another goal, but I've been
Right.
well.
to him?
Yeah,
Get
for the moment
the
we're
medical
advantageous, but I don't want to see what happens when we no longer benefit her, really. You know.
The medical information tells you something you didn't want to hear.
Okay.
What does it tell us?
It's not an antidote. It just holds it at bay for a while.
Oh. We're dead men walking. Regardless.
Hi, Ricky.
After helping you search the facility, George collapses. He is not going to make it. And he says, we can't let that stuff get out of here. And he makes it over to the computer and he sets the self-destruct sequence. It says, get out.
Sorry, George.
Well, now you're getting teary-eyed over George.
Yes.
I don't think we should leave the planet.
The Thomas Combine has, on their Star Cruiser, the active virus.
It's already out.
You realize in that moment, you're going to have to take down a Star Cruiser if you want to stop this virus.
We just can't
Okay.
be in anywhere else.
I mean, we can
We'll
try.
save the universe.
I'm going. Okay, we're
We'll
gonna
die, but we'll save the
rush off the
universe.
base onto my ship.
Okay, so you take the stuff with you, you hop into Nadia, you fly back up into orbit, and when you install this into Nadia, she says, oh, that's interesting.
What?
You brought me the last resort protocol. Has code to show me how to activate my own nuclear fusion reactor.
It's one way to deal with fusion.
Yeah, it is.
I also have a combined missile.
And that, folks, is where we're going to end this week's episode.
Right.
So,
Thank you very much for watching. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. Share this video with a friend, and we hope you enjoyed it.
07 in the chat for George.
And we will catch you next time. I'm James.
I'm Hannah.
Ash.
Jade.
Jared.
It's been RP Gallery.
Bye, guys.
See you next time.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of RP Gallery. This week we're going to take a moment to interview the artists of RP Gallery and just check in. How are you feeling? What are your opinions of Battletech: A Time of War?
We were in deep doo-doo.
We really are. What, you want to elaborate on that?
I mean, my character has a military background, and now he was being framed as a terrorist, and things have gotten worse from there.
I never thought it would get worse from there, but yet it somehow did.
Yep. I was like, hey, can I reach out to my friends, let them know that I discovered I'm being framed as a terrorist? No, you're gonna be in big trouble for that. Okay, let's not. And now my life is on the line.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm gonna get it back.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if any of us will make it out of this alive.
So let's make it count.
Yes, absolutely. Tell me more about your character. You said they had a military background.
So the dice told me that he was a pilot, and I tried to roll with that as best as I could. He came from a ice moon instead of a desert planet, so I was like, okay, maybe not Luke Skywalker. But I figure with pilot being his identity, he was going to focus on any aspect that could impact his ability to fly, so that's why his special interests include astronomy and meteorology. So day or night, he can fly no matter the weather.
Yeah.
So those were my focuses for him professionally. I have not delved much into him personally, but I know that he's more good morally aligned, because I can't play anything but good, honestly.
I do understand that. I personally, with my character, typically tend to play good characters as well.
Yeah, and I know that he's an orphan from war, and so whenever I get lost about how to direct his decision making, I try and look back on his past, and that's the only thing that really stands out. So he's just moving forward. He doesn't look back.
You've done a wonderful job at playing your characters, each
you.
one of them from all of our shows.
Awesome. I hope they don't all look the same. I noticed this morning that when I try and cosplay for my character for the day, I'm still sticking to blue and white because that's just me.
Yeah.
My sailor had like the striped shirt that made me think nautical. This one was flannel, but color scheme stays the same because I'm me.
Yeah, fair enough. What are your thoughts on the story so far?
It's kind of a hard story, and honestly, the way that James DMs, I have to brace myself because it's a lot to take on, but he does leave the story feeling resolved at the end, so I trust him through it. But, yeah, I just gotta pause, wait, hope I get more clues, and just roll with what the Game Master has in store for us, and it turns out to be fun every time.
Good, I'm glad. Have you had any favorite areas to explore?
I know that I feel validated that we saved the side characters, because that was a point of contention for us even as players, but that has definitely paid off. It has paid off to save the side characters. They definitely add a richness to the story and give us abilities and boons that we would not have had otherwise.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I can trust our game master to make sure that the story goes well, but if we didn't have those advantages, I have no idea where the story would go, but I'd rather not find out.
Yeah, I'm glad things played out the way they did. What are your thoughts on the different moons that we've been to, the ice moon specifically?
Well, the ice moon is supposed to be familiar to my character because he does hail from an independent icy moon, and so I like referring to that chapter in our story when trying to decide his backstory as well. So I can see him getting in touch with his roots, thinking of the more homely things, kind of like I imagine Cook was possessive of the spices. I imagine my character also is like, yeah, spices are essential for cooking. You know, homemade meals are the best. So I know it's not so much about the terrain when I focus on the environment, but the impact that it has on the characters as we play it.
Absolutely. And then the forest planet, what were your thoughts on that?
That was interesting, but my focus was so much more on hide, don't get caught. But we're doing this in theater of the mind, not like actually hiking, so it's trying to place myself there was, I don't know, it adds a layer of challenge for me.
As someone with aphantasia, I know theater of the mind does not work very well for me. How has that been working out for you?
Sometimes it's more useful than playing on the map, because I feel like we can hand wave a lot of the traveling the distance stuff with the pressure of playing swiftly so that everyone gets a turn. I may not make the most optimal decision at the time. So with theater of the mind, I feel like a lot of it gets hand waved and I get away with a little bit.
That's totally fair. Any last thoughts for me?
I have no idea where we're gonna go with the next episode.
Welcome.
Hi.
What are your thoughts on Battletech: A Time of War so far?
I'm having quite a bit of fun with it. The mechanics I found a little strange at first, especially when you roll. So say you're rolling for perception, right? It would be like add your intelligence and your wisdom together, and then there's a whole nother link score that you would add. I had a little bit of trouble and still have a little bit of trouble getting a hold of that, but the system itself is not complicated, which I enjoy.
That's fair. Is there anything specifically about the system that you don't like, do like?
I really like the multiple ways that you can have interest. Like I have interest action figures, and I have interest, I believe, Solaris Nightlife, which I think it would be rare to use it, but if you get that opportunity, it's like, yes, I got it. Let me do it.
It adds an interesting flavor to the character
And
as well.
it really does help with the background, I believe. Building your character, it adds that level of depth of like, I know I like those things.
Right. Well, speaking of characters, do you want to tell me more about your character?
So, my character, Arden, full heel, is a runaway slave. We're kind of in that mix. The Russians and Slovakians are very mad and want me back very badly, so we're kind of on the run. And they don't like each other either. So, I'm just kind of like, they're fighting up here. I'm just kind of slipping through the middle and trying to make a name for myself, which I already have in the game, so.
That's a great start to building a path for your character. But how did you get the idea for where you wanted to go with your character?
So it originally came from my mech, honestly. My mech, Denger, is built. He is a big boy. So the idea of just, you know what, I'm big enough, I'm gonna do it my way anyways and try to shoot me, Yeah. So, who's gonna stop a big mech coming at you? I wanna run away, I'm running away, here we go. Right. And then that leads to bulldozing my way through the Slayer's games, and then bulldozing my way through our tasks as a party, because I will just throw myself in, which kind of relates to real life a little bit. I can't do that in real life. I'm 5'2", about 150 pounds soaking wet, so I just throw myself into danger. That's the part of role playing in this that I really like.
I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. Is there any part of the campaign that you've really enjoyed?
I've really enjoyed the side characters, especially Brooks and Linda. So if you've watched our episodes, you will know. Don't hide anything. I want to get married to Linda, so that's my end goal.
Yep.
For the campaign, I love the side characters. I think that they're great.
Yeah. So, speaking of side characters, what's your favorite side character?
I talk a lot of crap on George. I'll probably cry when he dies. I'm at that point.
I feel that.
I like Brooks. I liked Brooks, and then I'm kind of in this in between, but I don't know where she stands. So either Linda, for obvious reasons, or George. Not gonna lie. The guy that I hated because of the spices. I'll probably cry when he dies.
Fair enough.
His wife and kids, the whole thing. I'm emotionally attached. That happens.
I get it. I'm emotionally attached to Linda.
I'm more than emotionally attached, but we'll move on.
Okay, well, moving on. What is your favorite, not favorite, but what are your thoughts on the story so far?
I like it a lot. I think the idea of infection rather than a big bad guy that we're fighting it. Well, of course, we're fighting the Decrepit Combine. But the goal to not just kill the bad guy, but to do something to save the world is very interesting because most of the time, end of campaigns is like, okay, here's the villain. Boom. Fight him. Okay, you're done. But this whole, it's a race against time which we've had that several times throughout the campaign, or just a race against time to save a lot more than just ourselves, to gain the equipment, to help others, and save the world.
Well, I think it adds a much needed sense of necessity to all of us when we have that time limit to see how we're going to react differently just depending on the situation. I think that just adds a nice impact for all of us.
Agreed.
What are your thoughts on James's storytelling so far?
I love it, honestly. I want more Linda, always. He never speaks on her enough, so just take that into consideration. I very much enjoy the way that characters are laid out. I do wish for a little bit more detail maybe in scenery. I think scenery is very important, especially for someone with aphantasia. For you to be able to actually be able to picture it a little bit better and be able to get a full scope of there's something in that corner was described in it. Okay, I want to go check that out. And that I believe gives the DM more room, even if he doesn't have anything planned, to be like, oh, in this corner you find this that you really needed, or this, which will move the story along later. I think it's very important because players can make something out of anything.
Absolutely. Just like with the lore of the story, is there anything that you've really particularly liked about the lore of Battletech?
I really like the idea of so many planets, and then the Star League stuff is really cool.
Absolutely. I've really enjoyed getting to see the different Star League tech that we come across.
Right.
Do you have any final thoughts for me?
Not really. I am really enjoying it so far. Once George is, I will probably take his spices and make a wedding cake for me and Linda. So be prepared for such. He's got brown sugar. I just need to pry it from his, very cold fingers. He was digging around in the fridge.
I have no response to that. Thank you so much for joining me, Jade. I believe next up we have Jared. Welcome, welcome.
Hello. So,
Battletech: A Time of War. What are your thoughts?
I enjoy the system a lot. One of the big things that I actually really enjoy about the system is that there's so much depth to character creation. It is so much easier than a lot of other RPGs to make your character like yours, right? I think that's something that a lot of more popular RPGs lack in sometimes, where it's kind of, you have this thing that's kind of very proprietary to the RPG, and sometimes it works really well, but it makes it harder for you to make a character that's like yours.
Absolutely.
So I like that a lot about Battletech, that you have so much free form there to give yourself a background and to flesh out that background as you see fit, and have it affect you as a character.
Absolutely. Speaking of characters, how did you come up with your character?
There was a lot of just kind of, as creation started, as things start to click in place a little bit. So, we started our character creation, and there was a bit of randomness to it, but as that kind of happened, I saw a lot of kind of like, oh, well, if this is the case, then kind of this, and as time went on, it kind of just all started to click into place.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts on the story so far?
I'm enjoying it. I like, as I was kind of saying earlier, I like a lot of the more like horror elements where they don't really belong, which Battletech is not typically something that you kind of coincide with, like horror, right?
Right.
But then this idea of this virus that's very much like a lot like, in my head, it's a lot like The Stand by Stephen King, right? Where it's this big scary virus that's has the potential to do a lot of damage. That's just not something you typically associate with Battletech. So I like having that as like a, this doesn't really fit, but like it works.
Absolutely. Would you say that's your favorite part of this story?
Yeah, I would say so.
Is there any part of James's storytelling that you really like or really don't like?
I think that it's very interesting to see how much work gets put into like side character, because not everybody does that. Sometimes they just kind of appear and that's that, and then sometimes the character who nobody expects to become as important.
Absolutely.
Or more often it's typically that the DM doesn't expect to be popular, and then the party loves them, and then they just kind of become popular.
Right.
So I like seeing how much gets put into the characters' backstories and kind of things like that.
Absolutely. And then what are your thoughts on the lore of Battletech? I know you know a lot about the lore of Battletech.
Yeah, I know a fair bit. I think Battletech is a very cool system. I've always been a pretty big sci-fi guy. I love my fantasy too, but I've always enjoyed sci-fi and stuff growing up around. A little bit of Battletech, a little bit of Star Wars, things like that. So I think that Battletech, there's so much backlog of lore, so to speak, that is just very interesting to me. Being able to just kind of sit down and read through so many years of storytelling, and that's always been something that interests me. So.
Absolutely. How do you think the lore has been integrated into the story? How do you think that's fitting together?
It's been pretty nice. I mean, like I said, for me, like personally, as somebody who's playing a Confederated Sons character right now, right? It's just been really great to just kind of butt heads with the Draconis Combine, and if you couldn't tell, my character loves that.
Absolutely.
So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed getting to see your character just butt heads with the Draconis.
Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting thing about your character.
Yeah, well, for me, he's very much like kind of coldly analytical. It's this thing of like, yes, there's right and wrong, but at the end of the day, it's not about what's right and what's wrong. It's about getting out in one piece.
Absolutely.
And so he kind of has that part of him that's like, yeah, like morally this isn't, some of these things aren't exactly right. But if it comes down to me and somebody else, he's not going to put somebody else in front of him. He's going to make sure that he makes it out alive.
Well, speaking of making it out alive, how do you think the story is going to end?
I think that nobody's making it out alive, and I think that we're gonna get one last big hurrah with the Draconis Combine, and my character's entirely okay with going out in a blaze of glory.
I think my character would be okay with that too, just realizing the circumstances we're all in.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I said, and it only makes it sweeter that it's against the Draconis for him, right? So that's something I enjoy a lot.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah, of
joining
course.
me. Thank you guys for watching this episode of RP Gallery. We will see you guys next week. Bye.